Hey there guys, it's Metro. We are back again. Today is Wednesday, day 2 of the bolstering week. Honestly, in terms of like tank stuff, it really didn't go that bad yesterday. But it's a pretty hard week, obviously. So we'll see what we got today. Get to looking, might as well get to it. It's the wrong menu. I always open that one by accident. Hey SLB, what's up buddy? Welcome. Pika's here. I guess earlier it says love your videos. Oh yeah? What do you like most about them? DHT we need. Obviously 26s, but yeah, we're just not gonna. Don't expect to get anything going on that front. What's going on, Richie J? Hey, it's been a while, man. What have you been up to? How's tricks? If you're still performing any. Oh yeah, so by the way, they nerfed or they buffed the LFR thing. Oh, they not LFR, but they buffed the bad luck protection.
You would ask.
So that's curious. Well, 8K for that. That's a cool icon too. So I'm thinking maybe try to get a normal in at some point this week. Or maybe just wait till next week, I don't know. But yeah, I guess it should be a lot easier to get the legendary now. Diab, what's up, buddy? Welcome. Are you on EU? No. What's been happening, mate? How's work and wow, Ben and life? Haha. What did you say to me? How's what? Sorry. I just said how's tricks, like a funny way to say, hey, what's up? Things been good here, I guess. I mean, as good as they can be. Glad to see you again, man. Hope you're well. Summer coming to a close out there in Australia, if I remember correctly. Because ours is, we'll get spring coming soon, so. I remember it's flipped. What can I do with this? Can I sell this? 1 copper, that's spectacular. Yeah, man, I think a month left or something, right? Pretty much, yeah, we'll have spring around mid-March usually. It's 3:20 a.m., yeah. I know about that too. When's daylight savings time coming? I don't know why I'm in here. Wrong place. I don't know when daylight savings time is, but it's gotta be soon, I think. Out K Ripper, what's up, buddy? Welcome.
Only the finest goods.
I know I have some of these. Yeah, there we go. Put those in there. I guess these are useless too now. Primal Infusion. Only thing I know, fuck it, it's sentimental. Just like our blood spattered scale. Ooh, yeah, we still got some fun stuff in here. Codex. We have reactive defense matrix. Maybe throw that on.
Thank you for
Morning. What's up, buddy? Welcome. How the hell are ya? Mistweaver shenanigans continuing. How's it going so far? How do you enjoy it? Is it fun to play? Oh, good. What's the play of today? I'm going to try something a little different today. We're going to try doing some Mythic Plus dungeons on Blood Death Knight. Dale the Dolphin, what's up, buddy? Welcome. Hello, good sir. Neo, hello, my friend. How you doing? It's pretty interesting so far. Way different than what I was expecting. Did 14 rise earlier, and that went pretty smooth. Sweet. Well, swell, man. That's cool. If you run into any funny stuff, hopefully you'll record it and send it in. Sure, there'll be something along the way. Nice to see Blood DK. It was getting... Nice to see the Blood DK. I was getting sick of Blood DK. Yeah, I was in the same boat, man. Oh, where's my water? Fuck, I left it downstairs. Be right back. I couldn't find it. Ran into a nightmare a few days ago and forgot to record, but I have the week order to remind me now. Sweet. But DK, I'm not sure about playing that one. It's C tier on sub creation. Sub creation's gone, bro. How could it be any tier? I'm hunting for content for you, sweet man. I'm glad to hear that. Sub creation got taken down for putting Blood DK in C tier. Did it? Is that why it's gone? No, surely not. Did you get to take a look at your viewer demographics? No, like I don't really care. Is there a reason that you're asking? It's not something I've even really thought about. All these years of YouTube, I don't think I've ever even looked at something like that. You could look at it if you want to, but Blood DK Insurrection. Is it really an insurrection? What site do you use now then? I mean, there's only the other one. It's the Archon site, right? Sub creation is gone because it got bought out. Yeah, no. Just interested since you're streaming primetime EU. Gotcha. There should be viewer demographics that show class and role. Dermicas, what's up, buddy? Welcome. Blood DK community protested outside their offices and got the website taken down. Wow, I did not know that. That is very interesting. Is that's not, that's surely that's fake, right? I don't know. Let's see if we can find these demographics here. Analytics. What it would be under audience. 51.7% of you guys are not subscribed to this channel currently, despite the fact that you watch it. 25 to 34 makes up 55% of the demographic, which makes sense because I'm in that category. Next, 2 weeks from now, I will be in the category 35 to 44, though, which is 27%. 50%, 90% of all people do not use subtitles while watching my content. 40% of the viewership is from the United States, whereas 7% is from the United Kingdom, 7% from Germany, 5% from Canada, 3.7% from Sweden, whatever Sweden. Australia is... I clicked this and now it's not showing the percentage anymore, but yeah. Alright, anyway, we're supposed to be doing keys here. It's fake. We got you. Jonathan Frakes. That's not my name now. 50% is actually pretty good. A lot of channels are usually upward of 80. Oh, really? What percent was the US? Like a ton. Wasn't it? Didn't we say it was like 50%? US is 40.7%. How about from Qatar? Only me? For some reason, when I click on the actual thing, like... Yeah, there's you're not even on the list, bro. The lowest on the list is 10 views from in the last 28 days from Belarus. Then 11 from Uruguay, 11 from Iceland, 11 from Estonia, 21 from Saudi Arabia, 22 from Slovenia, 24 from Singapore. Oh, there's Qatar. 24 from Qatar, sorry. 38 from the Filipinos. 47 from Mexico. 50 from Japan. 54 from Israel. South Africa has 59. It's probably just the same people watching the videos, though. It's not individuals, I doubt.
2, 1.
24 Qatar bros. It's probably not individuals, right? It's probably just 24 views, so it's probably just that one, the one player or the one person watched 24 things in 1 month, pretty much. Because it's over the last 28 days, pretty much all of February. Okay, we have a paladin. Will we get freedom? Step 1. Does WoW in Arabic exist? I doubt it. I mean, there's not a... Like, is there a region for them to play in? Oh, so close. If I didn't grip there, I would have been able to just strike and we would have been alright. They just play on EU. Oh yeah, there's a shady add-on that makes it Arabic. Oh really? Failed to drop the D&D. That's, oh, that was almost really bad. A little clunky start to that pull.
2, 1.
I was dabbling with Vengeance yesterday. I know people were saying how great their stops are, but God, it's like 50 times better than the second best tank. I don't know about that. I mean, Paladin has some really good options too. Demon Hunter's kit is just made for it more.
3, 2, 1.
Paladin's probably really good at stopping a single mob over and over again, but obviously Death Knight's gonna be way better, or Demon Hunter's gonna be way better at stopping many mobs many times. It is Purgatory. I'm just not getting freedom, right?
1.
There it is. Tank balance is so bad this patch because of Vengeance. Yeah, I don't know. Not stopped me from playing Blood, so usually when tank balance is really bad, I just can't even like do anything on this character. Did you check the Elden Ring DLC stuff? I watched the trailer, but I don't like even know what I'm looking at. I don't know a single thing about the game outside of playing the mod, so honestly did not look like it. Like if it was like, all right, do you want to buy it now? I would have been like, no. Just like a bunch of shit that I don't even understand what it is. I don't know if those are areas that you guys recognize or something, but it just seemed like it was like basically like a second game or something like that. I'm waiting for the new info on the DLC. No point in going crazy until it's out. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be like all kinds of new weapons and shit, which would be exciting, but none of those areas looked interesting to me. That's pretty much like the reason I stopped loving Dark Souls, is because like all the areas were like super dingy and kind of creepy and dull. And that was the main reason why I wanted to play Elden Ring, was because it looked like that wasn't going to be the case in Elden Ring. So if they're just adding more poison swamps and fucking basements and dark areas, then I'm not really interested in that, honestly. Plus, it's fucking expensive. It's $40, it seems. They dropped gameplay a few hours ago. I know. That's what we're talking about. I saw this huge popular post on Reddit complaining about how hard healing is and that keys as low as 20 are impossible without defensives. Is that true? No, that's not even close to true. Go watch the MDI. Apparently they did multiple keys without a healer at all. People just suck at the game, and including the DPS who are causing the healer to think it's impossible. That's really the core of it. Like, on a lower key, you're able to survive a mechanic, and you need to be healed up from it. Whereas in a higher key, you're just going to get one shot by that failure, so. Why would you not use defensives? Huh? Maybe you misunderstood what was said.
3, 2,
Well, that was close. We don't have either shoot death up still anymore. Those are pretty scary. Someone gave me 200k for the random mount at the end of Rise today. I don't even collect mounts. I would have given it for free. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, now you can trade golds and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I don't collect mounts either, but I'd probably keep it just because it's cool to have. Yeah, you were talking about like farming it. Have you done it or no? Is it rare? I assume it's quite rare. I've sold 3 of them. Oh yeah. Yeah, you have every mount already, right? Metro got a couple, didn't he? I think I got 1. Yeah, I remember getting 1. I don't remember getting more than 1. I've seen other people getting it. Oh, really? Not me, though. Get you. I don't know how rare it is.
3, 2, 1.
I guess the real mount is the people who I boosted for the free along the way. Yeah, that's funny. The random mount is probably only good when you have a few hard ones left to get. I would just get a common horse. It's only dungeon mounts, so I don't... Is there dungeon mounts that are common that you don't have? Alright, hard part coming up. Oh, also the time walking one, gotcha. Some of them are relatively easy to farm, oh yeah. Just because the mobs and like the dungeons are quick and easy, right? I mainly want the under route one. Oh, okay. Just one that you like the most and you don't have it.
Run away, little girl.
Vanilla Stratholme and Vortex Pinnacle. Yeah, those are obviously easy. Last BFA dungeon mount I need. Oh, cool. This happened yesterday too. So fucking annoying. The mob's just far enough away that I can't get it when I want it.
Run away, little girl. Run away, little girl. 2, 1.
Serving cheat deaths here is crucial.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
That mount is ugly as sin. The one from Underrot. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the way it looks, to be honest.
3, 2, 1. Run away, little girl.
Now, I know that the pack that we wiped to yesterday, the flowers are not actually, like, tethered. We could theoretically get the flowers on their own. I think we need to try to do that. Because without... I don't know if Priest's Mind Soothe will be enough to stop this Pat from aggroing him when we're fighting the whole pack. Is this new route necessary to time the key? No. This is not even like... This is just like a hybrid route from what apparently would be the optimal route. We gotta wait. Yeah, there's that pack.
The forest closes in around you.
Get these separate. There you go. Wait, I'll cheat that sub, so okay, that went very well.
Run away, little girl. Run away, little girl.
Freedom coincidentally getting two things at once. That's like that's nice, quite nice. Yeah, do it like this makes it a lot easier. You got basketball entertainment tonight too. Duke's playing, if that's what you mean. Yep. They're at 7. They're playing Miami. I would expect them to lose that game, honestly. But we'll see how it goes. Jared McCain. I didn't get to watch Saturday's game, but Jared McCain had 25 points at the half, 7 for 8 threes. UConn finally lost. Yeah, they're overrated as fuck. They're gonna get fucking exposed in the national championship again. They got very lucky last season with their path to the title game. Played basically no good teams last year, the whole tournament. Best case scenario for us would be that North Carolina is the number 1, 2 seed. So they're in the same bracket as UConn, and then North Carolina can beat them. Then we can finally get the Duke and North Carolina national championship I've been predicting for years. Who's number 1 with UConn and Purdue losing? Oh yeah, Purdue lost on Monday as well, didn't they? Probably still UConn. Everybody's sucking UConn's dick so hard that they're probably they have to lose like 4 games straight for them to not be number 1. Nah, Houston. Houston's garbage. That's another. Those top 3 teams are all gonna lose. And none of them are winning a national championship this year. Kansas or North Carolina is my pick this year. Kansas is the best team in basketball in my eyes, like skill-wise. They have the most depth. They're in an incredibly hard conference with Houston, and they've had some injuries. So if they're all together and Hunter Dickinson plays well in the NCAA tournament, then they'll go all the way and win it. Mark them down, write that bracket down. That's the winner. Kentucky? No, they're gonna lose in the first round. They're gonna play like Appalachian State, and they're gonna get blown out or something. Or lose by 20. Based on the previous few first rounds for the Kentucky in the tournament. It's mostly the 3 mages before Archmage sold that bricks my key. Yeah, no doubt, but on Bullstring Week, that trash that we just did is the hardest part for sure. This is normal to have difficulty, but Bullstring's not going to come into play up here. Lost to Ohio State of all teams. Wait, who? Oh, yeah, Ohio State just got a new coach, Purdue, right? Yeah. Jackson Key, he probably graduated, right? They had a good team a couple years ago, Ohio State, but Braxton Key, I can't remember his name. He probably long gone by now. Kentucky hater. Guess that US viewer stat is about to be 39%. I mean, it's just... Did you watch the previous few tournaments? Kids, you know, the brand of basketball that Calipari subscribes to does not temper success in the tournament. I mean, look, they even lost as the fucking odds-on favorite back in, what was that, 2015 or whatever? How's Duke's injuries? I haven't followed it, but I remember they had 3 starters out for 2 months. UCLA, what the hell? Yeah, no, they're good now. Pretty much everybody's healthy. Jeremy Roach is injury prone, but he's a senior, so it's not surprising. He's an old man.
Beware.
Just nice conservative push through this key and easy, very easy upgrade here. I think even if we wipe up here, we'll still have time.
Beware.
I watched that game. They lost, but it was close. They said those 3 guys were out on injuries. This season? I don't think they played UCLA this season, did they? You might be thinking... I don't know, though, because the injuries... Tyrese Proctor got injured in the first week of December. And he missed about a month. And then about 3 weeks later... Mark Mitchell and Jeremy Roach both got injured within 1 week. And they both missed two games, and that was it. Other than that, I don't think anybody's been hurt all season. I think Filipowski might have missed 1 game, but I don't remember the very beginning of the season. Their only loss in the beginning of the season was to Arizona, though, I'm pretty sure. And that was a bad loss, because that was at home. That was at Cameron. It's possible they played UCLA. UCLA is like a shell of themselves compared to what they were 2 years ago. So maybe I just don't even recognize who's on the team anymore. Renegade, what's up, buddy? What do you like about Holy Pally? Everything. Nothing I dislike about them. Excellent bulk. Hugely resilient to any type of damage.
Beware.
The best defensive healer in the game, obviously. They have tons of externals. Hand of Sack and also Board Mastery. Lay on Hands works really well with Blood DK. Give me a Lay on Hands with Banned Blood, it's going to heal me a ton. They have a melee interrupt. Very easy to do AoE damage. Just drop Consecrate, walk away. It's like the perfect pug healer, it feels like. Extremely good at catching up from mistakes as well. Beacon of Virtue and Divine Toll, pretty much Lay on Hands for 5 people. I think it was Pitt, now that I'm looking at their season. I'm not sure where I got UCLA, yeah. Playing a, yeah, against Pitt, that was definitely the game that they had a bunch of people injured. UCLA is not in their conference, so that would be an extremely unlikely game to have happen on the schedule. They only play about like 11 out of conference games and then 20 in conference games, I think it is. Paladin is just fucking carrying though.
Beware.
And Paladin is just the best pick right now. Paladin healer, Paladin tank, Paladin 3 DPS. Let's see what happens.
Beware. Beware. 2, 1.
Oh shit. I tried Holy Pally and Mythic Plus. It was very fun and easy to top people. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's so easy to top people. It's definitely got to be the best healer for that. They don't have Spirit Link, but otherwise they have the best kit for Mythic Plus in my eyes. Resto Shaman's very, very good too, but they have a better utility focused kit, not necessarily a healing focused kit. But they did get some nice buffs to their healing as well, so both of those are very good picks. We need 7 mobs, so we need 1 mob from over there. I mean, we missed one of the...
Beware.
I think that means we missed one of the mobs we needed on the middle part. I love how all these mobs are exactly 1% though. It's really nice.
Beware.
My body. It's the only way to stop them.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, 8 minutes per 1 boss on Fortified. I think we're good. That was a joke. Can't wait to see this Paladin's overall. He's gonna be like 400 plus K overall, I think. Something wild.
The portal is lost. We must stop this beast before it can escape.
Do you not run Heart Strike? It's not something you can't run.
1.
It's I changed the icon of Heart Strike if that's why you're thinking I don't have the spell. Heart Strike is not an optional talent. Gotta love the first key of the day being a successful one. Yeah, good start. I remember I gotta change my judgment icon to blue. Sweet, yeah. I have a whole video on how to do it if you guys have never done it and you want to look into it. It's a lot easier than you think, but it's probably more work than... Like, you might think it's impossible, so that's why I say it's easier than it sounds. But it is more work than you might expect to. Now, Judgment is actually not more work because there's already a blue Judgment spell icon in the game. From Judgment of the Pure or whatever it was called from back in Round.
Beware.
I thought it was weird that you had Bloodstrike icon. Yeah, Bloodstrike's not been in the game for 20 years pretty much. Heartstrike is optional if you choose not to have any blood talents at all. That's still, yeah, I still like the idea of that. One talent point only challenges. We've done a few of those now. If you haven't seen them on the other channel. It's a fun way to play a character. It really is actually even more fun than I expected it to be. I have to try it with more specs. Rune Strike goes hard. Yeah, maybe I should try it as a... Well, the problem is if you don't take any talents for blood, are you even able to hold threat? I don't know how that part works.
That doesn't look good.
The blue judgment icon was Judgment of Wisdom. There you go, that's the name of it. Yeah, like the Wrath Judgment of Wisdom. Where they were separate spells, the judgments. You could hold threat for a microsecond. I could hold threat with taunt, obviously, but... I mean, what do you even... Like, I don't even know. Oh, yeah, you don't even get Blood Boil and Morrowind. That's funny.
Beware.
We are lost.
You'd have Rune Strike instead, yep. Hold threat by Chains of Ice Spam and have the DPS kite the whole way. That's an interesting idea.
It's reviving the little ones.
You get D&D cleave from the DK talent side, right? No. Well, I mean you do, but it's Heart Strike, so I don't even know how it would work. There's not really any talent, like, all your best talents don't do anything. It'd be interesting, if they ever allow, especially if they ever allow, because what you might not realize is in order to take talents from anything on this side, I have to take talents, I have to fill every talent point. So if you've never actually watched one of those challenges, it's more difficult than it sounds, because you can only take, like, if you have a talent point that needs to be spent, you can't do anything other than spend it. So you basically have to stop taking talents the second you get talents if you want no talent points on the right side. In the alpha, it wasn't like that way. It wasn't that way at all. And I was hoping there was going to be some really fun potential for leveling challenges where I was only going to take class talents. But unfortunately, Blizzard stopped that, I guess because they don't trust their video game players. A lot of idiots out there that would come with like no spells or something, I guess. Oh, we got 1 point. Nice. I told you we weren't going to get scores this week. My hard drive adds another affix to this dungeon. I don't think Heart Strike is your aggro generator. Yeah, no. Question, don't you think it's better to have two... Let's see what that word is. Two black bars in your stream instead of the squish view? No, definitely not. Shadow Priest looking good. Yeah, it did better than I expected him to. The Paladin really crushed it too, so. Mage got fucking carried though. What a surprise. Almost, wow. 1.4 million less damage than 140 million less damage than the Paladin. That's crazy. Fire Mage, really good right now. Alright, let's go ahead and get that on the sheet. We got a nice upgrade there. Benefit of the doubt, Fire Mage's funnel. And I keep hearing all these excuses for him, but... Alright. Cover Bloom. 25. Honestly, that's kind of fine damage for a Fire Mage. They have prio damage and good boss damage. I wouldn't expect fire to approach red. Okay, so it sucks. Good. Glad we agree. Upgrade. We had Resto Druid, Paladin, Priest, and Mage. Grown 26. We need fall. We do need fall, yeah. Hey Jay, what's up, dude? Welcome. It's not really an excuse. Fire Mage only does a single target rotation. You can take my 26 DHC this week. Will be a shit show. Yeah, we've already done it a few times. It's a mess. People keep complaining about like not skipping keepers, so I don't know. I guess I gotta look into more options here, but I have no idea what we would even do if we skipped all this trash. Just saw that they buffed the bad luck protection on the Lego. That's funny. Yeah. Bit late, but I'm glad they did it. Where the hell is the start? Is this it? Yeah. We pretty much need mobs here, I guess, that right? If you skip keepers, you just do more trash before first boss, so you need these mobs here, I guess. Do we pull this pack too, I guess? Then we can walk by this pack, and what about this one? I think we'd get this with these, huh? Then we would skip that with an invis pod, I guess. Then we'd have to pull those alone. You take mobs before first boss, can also take the bat mobs before the log to last boss, these ones. Oh wow, that's not even close to count. Alright, so need 2 packs here. What about this pad? Is this a good pack? Who's the least dangerous of the mobs? I don't even know. That's way too many mobs. I guess it had to be that, yeah. Take bats onto Dragon Boss. How would you get the bats from here all the way over there? You only skip the keeper pack either with Invis or Night Elf Demon Hunter plus all that stuff. Getcha. Need someone who can CC the first keeper pack. Oh, actually, now that you bring that up, I forgot about that. Hold on, let's see what that looks like with that. Ah, see, it's still not count. Fuck. Because I can actually get this mob alone, and then we can just walk by it. Which is probably what I would do. Do these all give the exact same count? Yep. That's unfortunate. Alright, just get that one then, I guess. It'll just be way over count. Oh, I guess we don't need this one. 9. Nope, still not count. Yeah, it's tension blows. Don't do pull 3. Get rid of that patrol and take those 2 ads on the pull 3 with the next 2x birds you pull. How would we get rid of the patrol? You mean this one? If you invis double keeper, you can invis your pull 10 with 1 pot. Oh, really? You can skip this one? Really? That doesn't seem like... It goes all the way down here. How do you know for sure? The 3 you pull through the gate, don't do them. How would we not do them? They pat around the whole area here. The bats on the Dragon Boss require someone else to pull it for you. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Just scroll back. Mage was last on every boss fight. No, it's funnel, bro. They're worth it. Don't worry. You can hop over the wall and ignore them. Yeah, I'm not doing that. No chance. These aggro, like we have people aggro this pack. There's no way we're not aggroing that pack. I think it's just, yeah, go over count, and if we can skip 10, then we're good. Can take bat pack before log and skip pull 16. I mean, I don't even know where these mobs are. Like, I literally don't know where these are. Skip everything and only do bears. That's probably what I'm thinking at this point, yeah. You wait to drop down and go high. So what would we not pull in this pack? It's still all the same count. It doesn't do anything. Doesn't make anything easier. Like one way or the other, we're gonna go over count unless we skip this pack, and it doesn't really matter. So the problem with this is I would have to remember. We would just need one extra pack here. Then these obviously are normal. Then this normal stuff here. Then unfortunately the 3 still needs to be aggroed, I guess. Oh, we'd aggro these together. I don't know why that's like that. Then we'd skip both of these ideally, but if not, basically if not, then we could not do 10, I think, right? No, we still need him, so yeah. Yeah, this is a mess. What a mess. Should go practice it though. Not many options. Ideally, you clear some of the poisoner / sleeping packs. They are fairly good count, and it looks like everything's the same. There's an exact 100% count right with no bears and no keepers. You have to skip the impacts in the log. It saves the most time, but you need good players to do it. Yeah, just trying to do like a pug-friendly route. Some of that MDA stuff has no place in live. They were doing 22s and 24s, and they're professionals. What do you mean? I don't think there's any pug-friendly route in this place. Well, there is, but people keep complaining about what I'm doing, so... The route I do normally is perfectly fine. We've almost upgraded 2060 HT multiple times now. We just have people die to the last boss. I think we have at least 2 pulls on it where the boss should have, like if we killed the boss without any deaths, it would have been an upgrade. But bolstering kind of exposes the issue this week, so it makes it a little bit more obvious that it's not going great. $2,700 player doing a rise, that's the one. This route isn't an MDI route, this is just a higher key route, yep. Oh, he was talking about pulling the bats on the boss, I guess, yeah. I don't even know how the hell you would do that, so. Isn't there a door there? The hell is that red mount? Oh, the big one? That was the recruiter friend mount, isn't it? What's wrong with pulling trash into boss fights that don't do mechanics? There's a wall. Og rescues back up. You can get gripped up or Og stone. There's not a wall there? I don't understand. How do you get over there when the boss is still alive? There's no wall before you attack the boss. Oh, no? Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. All that stuff is just overkill for a pug. Yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, I'm not doing that, but... It's kind of a vengeance-only pull, I think. Oh, really? Are the mobs too far away for me to just pull them, I guess? They must be, right? If Metro gets into 27s and 28s, it won't be overkill. We definitely won't be doing 28s. Done a 127 and it's impossible to get invited to keys at all, really, so don't see us getting more than a few more 26s done this season, but I mean the Dragon Boss literally does nothing, so pulling trash onto it isn't that scary. No, it's not, yeah. Although to be fair, those bats are the worst things you can possibly pull on any boss because they're gonna make any fight impossible. Never seen bats pulled in a third. Always slimes, if anything. Oh yeah. It's a flavor of the month world at the moment, unfortunately. You just need someone who can get back up. You can use monk, priest, warlock, demon hunter, mage. A lot of the common specs. Get you. Yeah, it's just something that sounds nice on paper, but like I'd have to sit there, type it all out. Like, hey guys, I need one of you guys to do this. Hello? Any of you guys want to do this? No? Okay, that's fine. We'll just pull the boss. Oh, somebody's outside the door now. Yeah, I mean, you guys act like the dragon boss doesn't actually do anything. People die to that fight all the time. This happens after every MDI. People start acting like something they heard 3 days ago is common sense. Again, this is not related to the MDI in any way. This is something we've been talking about for a few weeks now. I love playing the entire dungeon with your group just to wipe on the first pull and then disband. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's a lot of work for not a lot of gain. I think it's more of if one guy does offer to do it angle, which means he knows what he's doing. Yeah, I've never had anybody offer to do it. I didn't even know you can pull those mobs. I didn't even know those mobs were there. If you die to dragon, that's a skill diff. That's the skill diff IMO. Exactly, and it happens all the time in Pugs, so adding difficulty to a fight that does kill people is not necessarily something you should do. MDI pulls won't work in high keys. Some skips do, but MDI just doesn't affect high keys in any way. I agree. The bat to dragon pull has literally nothing to do with MDI. People have been doing it since the start of the season. Now, I've not heard of it until today, but either way, it's pretty dangerous. Yesterday I got kicked from a group because I didn't want to do 23 with a 2.8k mage. Was that justified? Yes. Whoever is the group leader can kick you or remove you for any reason they want. Well, I just realized, holy shit, do I need to move my camera for this? I gotta show you guys this. Check this out. Bottom right. 2547. 2797. This will be a fun one. Holy moly, Moonguard. Oh, okay, I guess we're not doing it anymore. The reason those massive pulls work is because it's 22, team is in comms, and they're all very good players. Yep. Why would they remove me? What the fuck? The MDI players pushing 32s and 31s normally, so pulling huge in a 22 feels like nothing for them. This guy is in a 3.8k tank looking to test out bullstring. No spot for him. Well, not a lot of options. Isn't this the guy? Is he just in the group alone now? They left, I guess. Don't really want to do these other ones. Atal's always fun, though. Okay, we're just back in the group with this guy. How come by the end of every expansion, Vengeance is always a super meta pick? It isn't. Imagine a world where pugs use health pot. Rarely would people wipe on keys. That might be like the most oversimplification of a situation ever. Is 4.1k even possible? I have no idea. They're from the guild that split off from the one I raided with in season 1. Oh, really? Did you not play Shadowlands? DK was meta the last 2 seasons. Yeah, in BFA it was Warrior. And in Legion it was DK as well. I think the rank 1 team was 40-90 or something last season. Really? Wow. I was just joking. Not going to get much more score. The decent affixes have gone and left. Well, we don't know when season 4 would come. It's very possible that we have the good affixes again now. Because it's only a 10-week rotation and we're 5. Well, no, it's extremely pot. We're definitely getting the good rotation again. We're already into the 5th week of the 10-week rotation. The pre-patch, or the patch that comes before the season isn't even out yet. So no matter what, we're obviously getting the good affixes again. They've been on Smolderon for over a month. Holy moly. Oh. I predict 6 weeks. 2 cycles of affixes make sense. 6 weeks? You think the season is going to start in 6 weeks? Where would we be in 6 weeks? Maybe. You mean like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, could be. The first week of April is definitely on the table, I guess. I would say probably mid-April. It could be that they wanted it to be exactly 20 weeks, though. That's how it was in season 1. It was exactly 20 weeks. I was thinking Warrior might make a showing again in season 4. Spell Reflect is going to be great on those Dragonflight dungeons. Oh, really? Gio, what's up, buddy? Welcome. 20 weeks is a nice round number, and the season ends with the same affixes it started. Yeah. Good evening. Not quite, but welcome. I think I've been on Mythic Tindril for a month now. Oh, yeah. That's not even that uncommon. Depending on how many hours you raid. Tindril was like, didn't Faxi say it was like 500 pulls or something?
The mountains are mighty here.
Season 4 is just King's Rest and Everbloom Tyran with seasonal bolstering. That's my nightmare. 2 days a week. Yeah, but how many hours? You can easily just do the math on it. Like if it's 500 pulls and you're averaging like 4-minute fights or something like that, and you raid 8 hours a week, then you'll know exactly when you should kill it. 520, 510 of those were before the nerf. Oh, okay, so it should be a lot easier now. 6 hours a week only. Okay, well, you got some time then. The nerf made that fight trivial. Yeah, I don't think it's trivial, but it's probably a lot easier. Shadowlands, or Season 4 might be a spice up. It's called Pandemonium, and there's some leaked content to do at MOP. No, I don't think that has anything to do with the season, does it? That's a coincidence. That's like some other event that's happening. I tried healing a 14 Waycrest, and on the first boss, no one kicked any of the cast, and we wiped. So I asked them to kick and got no response. Tried again, and no one kicked again. Those are the ones you want to record, but I honestly don't think you wipe because people aren't kicking. I highly doubt on a 14, even if no spells got kicked once, you would wipe. For people who did it pre-nerf, the nerf version is night and day. I get you. Bolstering Maiden. This will be fun. Maiden? Oh, yeah, no, we're just not going to pull all that. Thought I read another guild disbanded on Tindril after 700 pulls. That's so many, wow. Quit raiding after being benched on Tindril and my raid leader gaslighting me into thinking I was doing the feather mechanic wrong. Oh, yeah. King's Rest coming back wouldn't be the worst. I hated it back in the day, but I'm strangely nostalgic for it. As long as they balance the Shadow of Zool better, that's all you would need. Don't know, but I did 100k healing and people still died. Yeah, just record them one way or the other. Send them in and we can all laugh and maybe learn together. We Probably wiped to people standing still. Yeah, I'd imagine that's the case. I don't think the kicks are going to kill anybody on a 14. I do feel slightly bad for group stuck on Smolderin right now because Tindral is such a monumental step up. Oh, okay. Yeah, so if they're struggling with that one, then they're definitely going to struggle with the next one.
Infiltrated the timeways. We must follow.
All right. Well, we don't. I think this one we actually can like. This should be an easy key this week. I feel like there's not really a lot of bolstering in here that's gonna cause problems. If you're stuck on Smolderin, you're definitely not killing Tindral. Oh no. Tindral is harder than Fire in Mythic, sadly. That's what I heard. Yeah. Find him when somebody welcome.
Beware.
Let's be real, roster boss is the hardest one. Yeah. That was what always killed us for Mythic rating. It's always like kind of makes me like cringe a little bit when I hear somebody say like, I got benched for something on a fight that's 500 pull fight. It's like, wow. Love to be in a guild that had that kind of luxury.
Beware.
After fighting a fight that is gonna 500 pulls, we barely have 20 people online each week. Tronin, my guild is recruiting melee, just saying.
Beware.
We're using a position weak order to tell us which feather to pick up, and I was back right. He told me I wasn't picking up the correct feather. Oh, yeah. My raid leader back in the day would be like, found this homeless dude, should work out. What does that mean? Good afternoon, Datmir. What's up, dude? Welcome. Yeah, technically.
Beware.
After I checked 107 pulls, I grabbed the wrong feather twice. He's just a liar. Realistically, what happened is he is not aware of how to find the exact issue that happens on every single pull, and he just saw it happen once and assumed it happened on every pull. That was always a problem with raid leading. Especially back in the day, it was very hard to be 100% sure what wiped you. So it's easy to just do the blame game shit, you know?
Beware.
Your streams make my day so much better. Well, I'm glad you feel that way, man.
3, 2, beware.
It's another good reason to record your stuff, though. Like, in that case, if you were recording your POV from the fight, you could have easily just shown the footage to the guy.
Beware.
I asked him specifically where I was grabbing the wrong one, and instead of telling me, I told him my own findings, and he left me on read. Right, that's what I'm saying. Probably didn't know where to find the actual info he needed to have that discussion, so he just stopped trying to have it. I keep using slappy hands on familiar faces on Morchi. I see mobbed and press it. Yeah, that can be very bad. I had a VOD from both nights, but he wasn't interested. Oh, well, I don't know what the conversation's about then. If you have proof you're not doing it, I don't know what we've been talking about. I will look up an OBS tutorial. It should be very easy to set up, yeah. Honestly, I'm not even sure, like, if it probably just works out of the box now. How do you have proof and not show it? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. This is why I don't raid anymore. Content's just frankly gotten too hard for the level of effort I want to put into it. Getting into fights about shit like that is just not interesting. The feathers spawn based on the way the boss is facing. I could see some miscommunication if someone thinks they are static or if the tanks aren't keeping the boss facing a specific direction. Oh yeah. Based off where the boss is facing, getcha. Alright, so that still was an incredibly good split. Even though it was slow. Like, even though we had to slow it down, I mean. Have we already talked about how massively they seem to increase the legendary drop rate? No, nobody's indicated that it's massive at all. What makes you think so? Hot take, but Mythic Plus is way more fun to me because I have so much more influence in the key. Yep, absolutely. It's so much nicer to play Mythic Plus as a tank. As a raid tank, you do like so little. It's so boring. 5 of my guildies got it this morning. They probably double or tripled the drop rate. Oh, okay. After that was posted, my guildie got 6 in 1 run. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely need to get into a normal, I think, huh? Or should I just wait and get it next week for sure? Since I already did LFR this week, is it a high likelihood that I'd get it if I did a normal, or is it not really? Just did a run and we got 0. Oh yeah. The week horror got. Alright, we're still talking about this fight. Well, sorry to hear that, man. Good luck. Whatever you're doing. Do a normal run. Will I have a good chance of getting it though, or is it not really? Oh, this is a big mistake. Might as well try to do normal. Try is the hard part. Like, it's hard to get into a group. So I'm not gonna waste my time if I don't have a good chance of getting it.
An infinite vision guides me.
It's super low chance if you haven't gotten any BLP. I have BLP.
Horrors yet to pass.
It's just about the fact that I've already done LFR this week, so I don't know what the chances of doing normal on top of LFR is, and like if it's even worth the time.
My blows are infinite.
3, 2.
Tons of people are getting it right now. I've seen over 7 in 1 run. So it's probably worth doing then. It doesn't really matter though. Like I legitimately don't know if I'm even gonna craft it this week, even if I had it.
Infinites grant me strength.
How much harder is normal over LFG? A lot harder, but it's still very, very easy. LFR is like not a feature, like it's not a raid. You get buffs when you fail in LFR.
I will protect this future.
Happily log on my DK and get you into kill. Wow. The hard part is getting a runner without tanks, that's the issue. Got the Fire Act tank trinket on the Hunter last night. Oh yeah. Got LFR is mostly an experience and not actual challenge. Yep.
Strike is true.
3, 2, 1.
Did the weekly heroic kill with 9 pallies, 3 warriors, and no drop. After the changes or before?
My strike is true.
Okay, that's a pretty decent kill of him. A while ago, I almost got one shot in that boss with my prop pally because no one soaked. Oh, well, that's a wipe. If no one soaks, it puts like a massive buff on the boss. Tuesday. Oh yeah, well you missed it. It only happened Tuesday night, it seems. I think LFR. I like LFR. I think it's great for casual players wanting to get a look at the raid. Yeah, I don't. It's not raiding. That's what normal's for, you know? It's what LFR does is it confuses people into thinking like, oh, this is raiding? Okay. So this is as good as I need to be then, you know? It's completely antithetical to what any type of progression content in WoW is. And it really shouldn't exist. If all you care about is people viewing the raid, then they can just go watch a video. Raid is meant to be like a progression difficulty, something that you're encouraged to get better at over time, not the game buffs you when you fail. That's so fucking ridiculous. LFR is so pitiful, half the player base AFKs, and it's still a walk in the park. Yeah, like straight up, you can ignore 100% of the Fire Wreck encounter. I don't know. It's really sad.
Beware.
Posted a couple screenshots to your Discord.
Beware.
Yeah, I mean, those are Reddit posts. My question was, should I do it on normal? What do you think?
Beware.
They should have done the increase at reset, not after people already did the raid. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know why they didn't do it. Reset. The fire rack encounter plays the seeds for you, and even if you don't stay in the swirlies, you still don't die. I can jump on my DK and we can fill a group and do it real quick. You have a lockout at fire rack? Can you AMS the balls in that maze? I don't think so. Yes, you should do it on normal. I personally would if I've only done it on LFR. Gotcha. I'm just not really in a rush either way, though. The more I think of it, I don't know. Or just wait till next week.
The time waits.
Beware.
But it would be nice to be finally done with it. To be fair, hey Cop, I cannot stand in the swirlies on Heroic and not die with CDs. I cannot stand in the swirly on Heroic and not die with CDs. So the roar isn't as deadly as people think it is. Gotcha. Hashed him with somebody welcome. The most annoying part of the legendary is even if you get it, there's a 5 to 7 hour useless grind. What happens to items just dropping and us being able to equip it? Did that ever exist? I don't think that ever existed, did it? When has there ever been a legendary, like outside of the Legion and Shadowlands legendaries, which were really not legendaries, you'd be able to just equip it? The Hunter Bow? Okay. That's probably the only one, yeah. I'd rush if only because they might roll the drop rate back. Glaves and Thoradol were just equipable. Oh yeah, Thoradol as well. Old War Mace? No, you had to get tons of items over the course of many weeks to get the Old War Mace.
Timeways are even twistier than before.
I mean, even stuff from vanilla, like Medivh's quest had Medivh's staff had a quest line. Yeah. Obviously, the classic ones were all very involved quest lines, or some work, one way or the other. I like the legendary crafting thing. It makes it feel more special. What is that? Oh yeah, you mean like the way it's working? It's a cool system. It just sounds like it's not very well made. Doing boring content, not fun. Even Rag's hand had to be crafted. Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one. It's a required profession stuff like that. I read that the reason they did it is to keep people engaged with the world content. Not sure that's why they did it, to be honest, but yeah, it's definitely the side effect of it is that for sure. Just had the legendary drop on my blood DK, off to grinding world content. Nice. Something like the artifact weapon acquisition seems more appropriate time-wise. Oh yeah. I think two of my favorite all-time quest lines were the legendaries from Mop and Wad. They were cool too, and I like how everybody got them, so it was all a very well fleshed out quest line for everybody. Could you do a 25 while wearing no glasses? God, no. Couldn't even do a 5 like that. I wouldn't be able to see anything. I mean, I could, technically. I would just have to have my face right up against the screen to be able to see anything.
Could you do a +25 while wearing no glasses?
Sorry, man. £5. If that was you like asking me to do that and you donating to do it, no, sorry, that will not happen. I'll just end up with a massive headache and it will be very unfun to watch. You wouldn't be able to pay for that no matter what. I won't be doing that. I appreciate the donation though. I can't heal this. Everybody's at full health. That reminds me I need to find mine for Saturday. Oh yeah, you're doing a charity stream this week, right?
When time gets rewritten, things get messy here. Be ready for anything.
1 to 70, no sleep, 1 sitting. Sweet. Enhanced shaman, cool. That mob just retains its health. That's very interesting. Bloom Girl Love, welcome. Should be fun. I literally have no idea how Dragonflight Shaman works. Don't think there's any classes that require that much effort nowadays, but it's a very fun spec. Very visually fun. This could be a Depleto, gotcha. Is the leech stat useful? Yes. Enhanced Shaman has the best weapon transmogs? Yeah, I would agree. Legion weapons were insane. Yeah, the fucking artifact is like one of the best. The same thing with Rep Alley. 2 of the best DPS specs in the game have 2 of the best artifact questlines. Or artifact appearances, really, more than anything. I miss my pally sometimes, so yeah.
Good and Alliance are fighting? Well, this could be any point in time.
Timer is oddly tight for how fast the first platform went. Well, it didn't really go that fast, to be honest. It was pretty slow. It just said it wasn't as slow as I thought it was going to be, given the fact that we broke the pull up so severely. It was about a minute slower than we expect to see on a normal, like a good pull of it. I was doing Legion content on my mage just to unlock the weapon transmog and the class mounts. Legion was such a good expansion. It still is too. You can do all of that content while leveling now, which is really cool. Next time you level a character that you really like the artifact and the class order content from, just go Legion and just do all the class content. It's really fun. Do you ever do high keys with viewers intentionally for fun? Or does it just counteract the content you're trying to produce? You mean like people who aren't qualified for the key? No. That would not be fun. For anybody. It was super fun leveling my Airdar Death Knight through it. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's DK is pretty solid. I didn't It's been a while since I've done the DK one. Still want to do the Paladin, to do a human Paladin and get the Heritage Armor. I never got to it. I still say Bolvar was super sus through that expansion. Oh boy. Now they got you saying it too, Kyle. Holy shit. Wanted to get the disc mage class mount. It went very well with my transmog. Honestly enjoyed the experience. Oh sweet. I didn't even realize that the mage one was a disc. What's been your funniest key experience this expansion? Oh, I don't know if I could just pick one. There's been some amazing ones. Probably just the Azure Vault shit where people just kept falling to their death. We have like 3 different videos showcasing that, and that just tickles me in a way that nothing else in the game can. There's a lot that are just really, really, really funny, and there's not anyone that stands out. Not like the Shadowlands one where the mage, there's no Magic Dan moment yet. Cop's the king of Azure submissions. Yeah, you really were. 2 absolute bangers. Our key was kind of funny. Yeah, the no healer. That happened twice. Well, actually, it happened once, and then we had 2 healers in another key. I got every class-specific mount there is. Nice. I'm gonna do the monk stuff to get that done, I think. Yeah, monk stuff solid too. I quite like the Wandering Isle, so it's nice to be back there. I don't know what the actual like order hall content is for them, but it's nice to be back in the Wandering Isle. I think something that a lot of players don't speak about is that the keystone system and downgrade system also just makes it so you can't really have fun in keys. You can, you just need to not care about what you're doing as much. That's a really weird way to put that. Love the monk order hall. It's the only mount that talks to you. Oh yeah. What is like the class content like for monk hop? Does it take place in like monk specific places like the Jade Forest or something? I did a key with a healer in Shadow in season 1, and their wife went into labor mid-key. It was funny because apparently he knew she was having contractions, but didn't mention it until the first boss. Yeah, that's probably bullshit, but... Another great one was there was a submission where everybody gets killed by quaking in the worm boss of Shadow Moon Burial Ground. That shit always cracks me up too. The monk stuff is awesome. You go to the elemental realm of air to forge the Windwalker weapon. Have to defeat the elemental king to get the BM1. All really solid. The monkey king to get the BM1. Oh, cool. I figure it's either a blatant lion troll or most inconsiderate person on the planet. Yeah, it's just somebody fucking around. This key is going terribly, so you pull the my wife is in labor, gotta go. My fridge is leaking, sorry. I've done Shaman, DK, and Pally order halls. Oh yeah, which one's your favorite? Paladin is definitely... I think that Paladin one could have been a lot cooler. The monk class mount is awesome. That thing talks. Yeah, that's what you're saying. The best one was the Death Knight one for sure. I haven't done it in a long time, but it's definitely the one with like the most flavor to it, if you ask me. Gotta go emergency bath. Alright, we'll be here when you get back. I've had the gotta walk my cat excuse and the damn left my sink running. Oh yeah. Those are just so cheesy though. Like I don't think I would ever believe them anyway. So I'm not sure. Don't think anybody would actually say that, even if it was true. Pulling the dragon from the ice north of the map, shit was crazy. As the Death Knight, yeah. DK mount changes based on the spec too. Yeah, it's a really good looking mount. I love that blue color. If I could use that blue color permanently, I would. My cat ate my computer. What the hell? How'd that happen? The best mount look though is the shaman one. Oh, you like that one? I wouldn't really say I love that one, to be honest. I had someone saying, "Raid, my cat is on fire, gotta go." That's like an old joke. Elemental changes based on which spec it is. Oh yeah, I saw that. That's cool too. I like that. The Paladin class hall mount are like that. 5 color variations too. Yeah, I've seen those. I don't really like those at all. The Paladin is definitely the least, like, most disappointing, given how well it starts. I usually say, "Be right back, kitchen, it's on fire." Oh, that's not good. Shaman has the best looking one, I think. Water, wind, and lava is just so pretty. Yeah, I see. Huge fan of elementals. I like the idea of them for sure. I just don't really like the way that mount looks. There's better elementals in the game out there, like the Jano one. I like that one a lot. Read that. Let's see. I've had the dog is giving birth. Gotta go. What the hell? Jano one is sick for sure. Yeah, that's the best one.
Beware.
Arcane Mage hidden weapon appearance was a cool sheep head that would become real when you sheep something sometimes. It would become real? What does that mean?
Run away, little girl.
There can only be one Morty.
Bear back changing armor because Faxi nerfed it. Oh, again.
Beware.
Don't even get me started on Jaina and Elemental Mages should have an Ice Elemental and Shaman should have a Water one. Well, Jaina's is basically an Ice Elemental, yeah. My go-to is, sorry, Metro streaming. Good luck.
Beware.
I'd pop out in your house. It'd pop out in your house a fully grown sheep. Oh, like Mareep. There's that huge 50-inch plushie that Pokemon used to sell. Jaina's mount is one of the best in the game. I agree. My favorite mount is the Spell Tome. Oh yeah, that's from the doing the Mage Tower, right? I really wanted to get that, but then they nerfed it and made it a lot less interesting. I remember doing the Arcane Mage Sheep Staff questline. It was really fun. So many hidden gems in Legion. Yeah, that's why I wanted to do the Human Paladin and do the hidden artifact for the Rep Pally one, because it's actually like very authentic, like really cool.
Beware.
Run away, little girl.
Beware.
Where the fuck is it frozen, dude? Oh my god, alright, cool. I guess we're just not gonna do anything with this ad. Love the hidden followers for Paladins. Nothing like a follower who says, "For Deloria." Oh yeah, the followers too. I forgot about that system. Fishing for my hidden appearance, only for it to bug out and disappear because auto loot was on, was crazy. Oh wow, really? Now she's back. Now she is back in Warcraft 3. It was totally a water elemental one. Oh, I get you, yeah. I thought you were talking about in the game now. Shaman didn't really have elementals back then in Warcraft 3, so. The Paladin one was super fun besides the fishing bug. Yeah. I never did it yet, so obviously. Hopefully maybe someday I will. I do want to do that leveling challenge and unlock the human heritage armor. but I'm just kind of
Friends of another time.
not really feeling too many different leveling challenges right now. The classic one kept my interest for a heavy amount of time, and then Elden Ring. I feel like Blizzard should have a rule not to combine certain affixes like fort or bowstring. They used to, but now there's too few affixes because so many people ask for so many of them to be removed.
Time waits to the past.
So now it's like impossible.
Get one
Unless you want like the same affix like 4 weeks or something like that, you're not gonna be able to not combine some.
power, and I'm no aspect. Here we go.
So strange hearing dialogue. Why?
Make sure Murison doesn't.
Fort, bowstring, raging. Let's have it.
Well, here goes.
I have dialogue turned off for so long. Oh, okay. Yeah, not me.
Murison shall rise.
Beware.
I wish they would have removed explosives. I wish they wouldn't have removed explosives.
Can you handle this?
Beware.
But instead reworked the possible spawn areas. Well, that they were trying to change it, but people just wouldn't give up on this whole thing. Like, it's a healer affix lol. Like, oh my god, man. Just like the embodiment of why Pugging Mythic Plus sucks.
Beware.
So Blizzard just gave up and moved on. Fort, bowstring, necrotic, grievous would be fun. It's a lot of affixes. The embodiment of DPS, only do DPS and nothing else. Yeah, it's so sad, right?
Beware.
I must say I'm very relieved that necrotic was deleted. Such a shitty and circumstantial affix. Yeah, it's terrible affix.
Beware.
Definitely the worst affix in the game if you ask me. Well, that overflowing affix was probably the worst one they ever had, but
Beware.
that one didn't last very long. Necrotic was cringe. Oh shit. Necrotic was not Pog, lol. Lol, L-U-L. The only affixes I have problems with are Bowstring and Sanguine. What about you? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're both such nerf versions. Sanguine does still suck a lot, but
Come on.
it's mostly the enemies that suck about Sanguine. It's not even the affix at this point.
The proto
What did the
aspects.
overflowing affix do? Every time you overhealed, it
above and below.
put a healing absorb on the player
Minutes are here, and we
per point of overhealing. So if you overhealed by 1,000,000, then they had 1,000,000 healing absorb that you had to heal through before they can be healed again.
together this time.
We had 5 deaths to poison, exploding, and DHT, so people need to understand that dispelling is not only a healer job.
My friends,
Gotcha.
with me, we face them together.
Kind of hoping we might get a new affix for Season 4, maybe something dragon themed. I doubt they'll do a seasonal affix, but maybe.
Murison shall rise and lead us to a greater.
Current overhealing would mean they'd never be able to heal anyone. It was basically like pretty much encouraging you to not bring a healer, I think. That's probably why they got rid of it, because they saw that trend emerging. Oh, where's he going? I've never tanked him over here before. It just goes to certain spots. I thought it was always a set order. I'm pretty sure they stated they would be revisiting seasonal affixes in A War Within. Did they? I didn't hear that. Last I heard, they was like, we don't need seasonal affixes ever again. They've had some decent seasonal affixes in Shadowlands. Yeah, Thundering was very poorly inspired, I agree. Shadowlands were very good and creative, but I just don't think like they can be that creative for, you know, especially if their seasons are only going to last 20 weeks. It's a lot of work and a lot of voice acting and everything to get everything going every season. I figured since season 4 is kind of a bonus, they might throw a seasonal one in just for fun. Oh, that's the problem. It's not just for fun, you know what I mean? It's a lot of work to create one and to get voice acting for it and place it in every dungeon and all that. It's not a just for fun kind of thing.
For the future of
Just for fun would be remove all of fixes. That would be a just for fun kind of thing.
you are but fly.
Our dream.
I like that in yours.
Yeah, and then balance it, yeah. I feel like the key system needs to be revisited. I think it's a big part of why people leave. Yeah, me too. I totally agree with that. The keys, the way keys work is the heart of the issue for sure.
For your aid.
Wait, what are you doing?
Have you now, Nestor?
Run to the dead center of the room, okay.
To Marathon.
Beware.
Overflowing was really bad for Pally and nothing to rest of Druid, yeah.
Beware.
Won't let you take those dark.
Nestor, move. Your time is up.
Beware.
This will slow you down.
Now let's just finish it.
Check true timeline.
Pretty much over at this point, even if everybody dies here. We got the dragons to come fix it up for us.
Beware.
A system where you have access to every difficulty in a dungeon, but keys still exist would bring harder fixes but better loot. I kind of wish you had access to all the dungeons at a certain level and work your way up indefinitely. I think the way they could solve it is make a key per level, or a key per dungeon. I like that a lot better. You have to have that key to do that dungeon, and it never goes down kind of thing. Like you have to have upgraded a 24 to do a 25 once in the dungeon, but once you do, you can do it whenever you want. Like an attunement, basically, more than a key. I think that would be a much better system, but I don't expect them to do something radical like that.
Vision shall one day be.
Here's Luke. In my opinion, it should be that you time the key at each level starting from 2, and you say you +3, then you go to 5, +3, then go to 8. Right. All right. Well, we did finish it at least. When will you be killing Fire to loot the legendary? I don't know. We'll see. If it lines up well tonight, like today at the end of the stream, maybe I'll try to get into a normal, but it's been really hard to get into a normal at all, so I may just wait for next week's LFR again. But it would be nice to be over, like to be completely done with it. Then I could just work on it here and there. I feel like Blizzard wants to limit high content grindability though. They definitely do, yeah. That's why I said I don't think they would do something that extreme. I'm here to help you if you end up wanting to do it. Yeah, it's like I said, there's just like here, I'll show you real quick if you have never seen it as a tank. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 groups listed. Every single one of them has 2 tanks already. You should be able to get into a normal raid with your item level. Oh, I just showed you that. It's not about item level. It's about available spots. I was thinking for Mythic Plus, maybe have like a wager system. Like you have a key, it doesn't deplete if you can complete it, but it doesn't upgrade if you time it unless you wager it. That would be really complicated. I don't think they would do that. I don't understand why they would want to limit how players spend their time. I feel like in good game design, the devs observe player trends and innovate based on that. The reason they have the keystone system is because then everybody can guarantee a group. The way the challenge mode pugging went, it was like impossible for you to ever do, like nobody would play with you if you didn't have golds done already towards the end, which is a bit of an issue. It's a social issue. I mean, I think that's a better social issue than the one we have now. but it's still a big issue. So I think that's why they did it the way they did. It's like no matter what, you have a key in your bag, you have a group. Everybody has a group in their bag, effectively. I want to see you playing Holy. No, I won't. I will not be doing it as anything other than tank. I can make a group and we can do the skip. No, I'd just be doing the last boss if I was going to do normal. What is half the rating? What if half the rating you got from the key was from timing and the other half was just from completing? So you get rating from completing any key you haven't before, and if you time it, you get extra. That's how it worked for years until they made it so 20s out of time don't give any score. Have you watched a bit of the MDI this weekend? No. Had to do some fire rat kills as Frost since it's not easy to get in as a tank. Yeah. That's my issue as well. Unholy has quite a long ramp up. On lower keys, I'm just about to get into a massive damage and everything is already dead. Yeah, I bet. Probably frustrating to play spec like that in lower keys. Luckily, Frost isn't hard to play, but I don't like playing either Frost or Unholy. Yeah, I don't like the DPS specs at all. I have Fire Rat Lockout on my Monk if you want it. On normal. If you want to, at the end of the stream, we can do it, yeah. Cool. Yeah, alright. At the end of the stream, we can do it. I'm playing Nightingale. Is that a game? Nightingale while watching your stream. I took a bit of a break from pushing because I've been struggling to hit 3,500. Okay, right? Thanks for letting me know. Okay, what are we doing here? I don't even know what key this is. I can come and punch and kick things for you. Nice. It'll be a while. I'm not stopping the stream for a while still, so. A couple hours at least, but yeah. Oh, it's Throne 26, isn't it? Yeah. It's a new survival game based on Fae mythology. Oh, cool. I am basically waiting for an Amazon delivery, so I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Oh, what's anything important getting delivered? We can call upon the Metro Pumpers to come ass blast the bird guy. Metro stream raid. We've been doing a little bit of, yeah, just to get the legendary at the end of some streams. I've pretty much given up on normal because it was like impossible to get into groups. Second favorite tank class? No. Wasn't this Throne 25? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Probably. Been giving a Blood DK, and definitely it's my favorite tank to play right now. Yeah, it's so fun. It's just such a unique thing. Some supplies for Saturday. Little things I can grab to snack on at like 2 or 3 a.m. and some flu medicine just in case. Oh, okay. You should get some of that like emergency or something like that. Something that can boost your immune system, but also gives you energy. If you're gonna take medicine, I don't know. Flu medicine's probably gonna knock you out, isn't it? Death Grip is the best tank skill ever. Yeah, hard to disagree with that, honestly. It's such, really, there's like 3 or 4 things that Blood DK have that are irreplaceable in my eyes. Death Strike obviously is the best tank skill, but like, it's just a tank, like it's just like a heal, you know? So it's not really that dynamic. Whereas Death Grip is super dynamic, super interesting, can do so many fun things, and keys especially. And ironically, it's kind of not really, like if you look at it in a raid setting, it's almost never used. But then when it is used, it's like overpowered as shit, you know? I had a tooth pulled on Friday. I'm glad it already feels better, just a little tender. Oh, good. Don't get dry socket. No forceful spitting, no drinking through a straw, nothing that will create a vacuum in your mouth. Which tooth you pulled? People in 18 to 20 are legit more picky than people in 23 to 25. I can't get into groups with my feral even when showing 3.2 main score. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are really meta right now, and I don't think Druid, especially feral, is one of them. I got dry socket when I got all my wisdom teeth out. It was awful, yeah. A dull radiating pain that, a dull throbbing pain that radiates through your jaw. The worst feeling. It said tooth number 20, but it was 5th to the left on the bottom. Okay. Was it just something that had a cavity in it that needed to be addressed, or did you get it broken somehow? I'm looking for that at the next grocery store order. Just need to restock. Hey, Daiko, what's up? Welcome back, man. Glad to see you again. How the hell are ya? I'm really scared of the dentist. Oh, really? Well, if you have any questions, let me know. I worked at a dentist's office for a very long time. Do you rock DPS trinkets or tank defensive ones? Yeah, defensive ones. $200 people watching and only 15 likes. I appreciate you saying that. Really don't know if it works that way on streams. But maybe. I tried to go chill like this, but time wasn't on my favor. To time to 25, you'll need to pull the whole room here. Nah, we're good. We would not survive pulling the whole room here under any circumstances. So this is our best bet. It's the build up before the appointment. Once I'm in the chair, I'm okay. Yeah, well, that's easy part to fix because that's just all in your head. Honestly, I wish they had a like button while inside full screen. I always forget. Oh, yeah. Well, no worries. Apparently, like increases the suggestion algorithm for your stream. It's a combination of all interactions usually. So comments and shit. But on a live stream, like, comments are not the same thing as regular comments, so I always assumed that the interaction metrics would not work the same way as on a live stream as they do on a video. I don't think likes on a live stream will bring more viewers in. But it's certainly not something that I would say don't do, so. What are your other hobbies outside of playing WoW? What do you mean? No, obviously I'm a big golf fan. I have like 3 great passions in my life. Gaming, not just WoW, but mostly WoW to be honest. But yeah, modding games is like a sub, like 1A kind of thing. Number 2 is golf, and number 3 is music.
Beware.
I'm not great at pushing the negative thoughts outside of my head. No doubt, but I mean, that's an easy solution at least. You know it's on you. I don't even know how I got recommended your stream, but it did just come up one day. Yeah, I heard like people get recommended the content all the time, and I don't really ever have a lot of likes on the streams, you know? I know you probably answered it a million times, but how come you don't raid normal and heroic for legendary? I don't have time, basically. No time or interest in raiding normal or heroic outside of just Fire Act to try to get it. And to do only Fire Act, it's extremely hard for me because I can't seem to get into any groups. Do you play WoW a lot off stream? I've been doing a lot of leveling challenges on the second channel, but outside of those, no, I don't really play it all outside of stream anymore. Cool. I found your stream because I was in a 25 AD with my friends and you tanked it, and my friend mentioned you're a nice guy. Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you feel that way. I am fine. After time with my kids, I will get back to my work. Then I will reactivate my subscription. I'm so happy to see you live again, too, man. I'm glad to see you too. Glad that you're well, and hopefully things are going good for you. Reset, yeah, that's not happening. I discovered your channel from the 91% to spam rate video and been watching ever since. Oh, great! That was a legendary week. You don't have nighttime availability? No, not at all. When I log off the stream, that is the last time I play video games for the day. Wow. Okay. Oh, if those were bullshit at all, I probably would have killed me so fast that Purgatory just didn't occur. Parried one, luckily. We kill Fire Rack around then tonight. Oh yeah, no, I'm about to be in bed pretty much at that point. What time do you need to usually finish the second boss to time the key? I don't know. At least the last boss won't be a massive pain in the ass on Fort. Don't think we'll be doing the last boss in this group.
3, 2, 1.
Glad to see other bloody case purging on double sentinel. Yeah, if you don't parry them, you always end up having issues. Running every pull doing 70k HPS is insane. Welcome to Resto Druids. I really don't know how the fuck this spec is even looked at as remotely good. The player base who plays the spec is so fucking bad at the video game, it's like, it's staggering at times. Using them in the MDI for massive damage. I did see that the druids were going into balance form for the big AoE pulls. What's that about? Resto druids and holy priest attract a special type of person. Yeah. For every good resto druid I run, there's 3 to 4 bad ones easily. Yeah, it's probably more like 10 to 1 for me. Guys doing fucking 17k DPS, healing people that aren't even low, and somehow every pull. I mean, shit, in the MDI, we saw so many 4 DPS keys. Yep. For AoE, Starfire does a lot of damage, and for single target, Cat Form is better. Getcha. Boomy is what we do when we want AoE. Interesting. Does Boomkin Form give armor? I believe it still does, yeah. That's how I feel about Rep Pallies? Really? Rep Pally is so easy to not suck at, I feel like. You have to be like totally moronic to make Rep Pally look bad. You get a lot of ladies who think they're cats IRL and that's why they play Wrestler Druid. Oh really? Is that a big issue? Rep Pally is just unkillable. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you don't even have to press buttons for it to be unkillable.
Beware.
I think Rep Pally is just whether they use their abilities or just Zug Zug. That's what I'm saying. I think like straight up like Zug Zug is fine. Like it's still good. Most problems that Wrestler Druid have is admitting their limitations. It honestly sounds that way, yeah. The amount of excuse making I hear from people who play that spec is really strange. Verse just needs to be removed from the game. DPS classes that stack Verse are at a huge advantage. Everybody can stack Verse, right? I mean, it doesn't even make sense. Verse is just the most boring stat. Yeah, no doubt, but if you like living, you probably don't find it boring.
3, 2, 1.
Everyone can stack Verse. Some do damage with doing that, and some don't. Yeah, I don't really get that though, right? Because it's not like the huh? Anyway, yeah, I don't really get the whole Verse doesn't help my class thing because it's not like Verse has some interaction outside of giving damage, right? Like, what class gets more benefit from Verse than you? I don't really get it. I think your class, if in this theoretical situation you were saying this, your class just has like a mastery or a crit benefit that is better than Verse. But the classes where Verse is their best stat, it's just because the other stats aren't better. It's not like it's worse for your class than it is for other specs. You just have something that's theoretically better. It's always going to increase your DPS the same amount no matter what class you play, right?
3, 2, 1. Beware.
Shows an inherent design problem in the classes.
Beware.
Well, yeah, and that's just WoW. Like, what? Have you played WoW before? There's always going to be imbalance in the designs of the classes. Verse is literally a better version of the Windwalker Mastery, yeah.
Beware.
Specs are balanced around having the proper stat distribution, so one that can incentivize Verse gets the defense for free. Everybody can. That's. I don't understand. Did I not make that clear? Versatility is the same for everybody. So a class that can incentivize it is just a class that's poorly designed. Dumb question, but are then those classes balanced around stacking mastery and others around stacking verse? It does, like, what are you talking about, like on a sim or something like that? Yeah, probably, but in the real world, that doesn't matter. You take the thing that helps you the most. And versatility sounds like it would help DPS the most. Especially healers. Comes down to opportunity cost. A class such as Windwalker doesn't have that opportunity cost versus something like certain specs that you trade off. Right, but it doesn't matter. You just have to do it. Like, you have to do it to live. People who want verse gone will be the same people complaining about not getting any avoidance gear. Dead DPS does no DPS, yep. You need to kill the thing in the dungeon to complete them also. You can have a druid running around in bear form not attacking and living. Well, we're not talking about that at all, are we? We're talking about a stat that obviously increases your DPS. It's not like it only increases your defense. First sounds great no matter what in that case, so every DPS should just stack verse. Yeah, and keys, I don't see why you wouldn't. These guys are really fucking idiots, actually. Pretty sad.
Beware.
They could not. They could interact. They could, in fact, not do with boss. Yeah, what a surprise. Guys are fucking retarded, man. Burst on Resto Druid is worse for healing and DPS, but I still stack it because DR is so powerful. Yep. Especially in the Pug world where you got people like that. Backseat tanking become more and more of an issue in Mythic Plus. Yeah, pretty silly. They asked to pull the trash onto the boss. Yep. And then said, "You truly have no clue what you're talking about." That only works for coordinated groups. It saves time but needs kicks and stops. It's a really risky idea because those 3 casters don't follow you when you move the boss, and you have to move the boss very quickly into the fight. Pulling trash on the boss and not saving less for it is dumb. Well, less was used way before that. What did y'all lust? The big pack in the room there. Haven't played DK Tank since Legion, but did they ever give it back the 25% group-wide leech? No, that's not coming back. Damn, I try like your reply. I love just like playing mental chess with these fucking idiots. It's so fun. Look at how defensive the guy got immediately. And literally proved it. Like just fucking spamming out. Just like spamming out sentences. It's like, bro, just take your time and type something that you want me to read. 8K verse is possible with the flask. Oh yeah. I have 3 tanks higher IO than you, but struggles to reach 3.3k as Shadow Priest. I don't know what that even means. That is, like, what are you even talking about? Just because you play a tank doesn't mean that you're playing my tank. That doesn't even, that's like completely irrelevant. Metro, this game is subconsciously making you toxic towards other players. Oh, it's not. It's not subconsciously doing it, no. It doesn't even have any characters linked. Of course not. Just a question, a Demon Hunter tank flamed me for not barking him on a 24 Tyrannical Rise. Is the boss hard to tank? No. He was probably just upset about something else. High IO, low IQ. I'm not even convinced the first is true. Anyway, let's see. Throne 25, disband. Just soloed Tazavesh for the hard mode mount. The last boss is so annoying with 99% less damage taken. It took 10 minutes. Wow. Yeah, that's actually funny. I did that in BF or in Shadowlands. You use Storming Malachites as gems, right? Me? No, I use Steady Nosdurite. It's stamina and verse. Resto Druid and Paladin, Priest and Shaman. I've only done 23 Tyrannical Rise, but I had no problems with the bosses as Vengeance. Yep. Now, is that the same? Because this is these are the guys that were in that Everbloom. Is that the same group? No. 2 of them are at least, but the Tazavesh Glider, yeah, that's a good mount. Pretty soloable too if you're a Blood DK, but it's a pain in the ass, takes forever. Oh well, we didn't put it on the disband sheet, hold on. We gotta write a nice little thing here. He died because he miscalculated his defenses. If he's relying on an external bark skin and a no voice pug, he's gonna have a bad time. Yeah. Tank shouldn't need that kind of an external to survive anything in a 24, that's for sure. I soloed it as Unholy Easiness. When's the last time you raided seriously? Season 2 of Shadowlands. I was a guild master and raid leader for 13 years, from the end of TBC until season 2 of Shadowlands. Did I miss anything spicy? Well, just now I had 2 guys just like hardcore backseating the whole time, literally telling me to do something that I knew was a bad idea. I then did it and we wiped, and then they said, oops. A true tragedy. The guy, I said, you should let the tank decide the route, and he goes, Laugh Mafeo, you truly have no clue what you're talking about. This guy says, I have 3 tanks higher IO than you. I think I'm doing okay. Well, maybe you want to play one of them then instead. Mythic Plus has totally tore you away from the raiding scene, or what? Nah, it's a coincidence. Although, to be fair, it was the, you know, nail in the coffin. But no, it's just a bit of a coincidence. IRL is what tore me away from the raiding scene. What made you stop being a guild master? Way too much work. Unbelievable amounts of work, like twice as much work as anything else in terms of like effort to reward ratio that I've ever done in my life. I'd basically have to put like 10 to 15 hours a week into recruiting and would barely even get 1 person each week. Okay, let's see. What should we say here? Absurd backseating from Carl Baskin. That's the name of that Tiger King thing. Khadgar. And Meta Blast. Illness. It's not gonna fit. Try to shorten the word. Okay, if it's with how raid loot works now, I'm passing on raiding for season 4. Oh yeah. Tanks should do their route even if it's subpar. I remember when I mained Brew and Legion, my CDs dictated my route. It's just a stupid thing to say, like you don't know what I want to do. Like I don't even understand that. Like, isn't it more common to pull that pack and then skip later? I've never seen anybody argue with that. That's the first time I've ever seen anybody want me to skip that pack. Are you pretty set with doing Pug Mythic Plus for the rest of the expansion? Yep. Rest of my life. Recruiting is brutal. I desperately did it in season 1 to no avail. It's just like so fucking unfun too. What was raiding like in TBC? Did you kill all content before Wrath? I didn't actually, like I said, the end of TBC. I didn't actually raid seriously until Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch came out. That was the first time I made the guild and started raiding serious. And it was basically on like a dare. Like Rusty, who was in here last week, his roommate, they were both pretty serious about WoW at the time, and they got me into it. And I was like, I think I'm gonna start a guild, and still, like, it was pretty. Like, he kind of trolled me on it. He's like, oh yeah, if you have any questions, my alt's a guild leader too. It's like, all right, you said the wrong words there. Rest is history. That's a good one there. As highest weight crest is a 20. Raiding also feels kind of stressful, not gonna lie. I'm progging my first cutting edge kill and it feels stressful to me, like I'm gonna mess up and get anxious. Yeah. I never had problems like that in the raid, but yeah, raiding has just gotten, like, from when I started as a guild leader in Wrath and a little bit before that, it was actually extremely fun to be like a part of a community, part of a raid group, raid with the same people for years. And then pretty much every expansion that went by, it got less and less fun. The content just kept getting harder and harder and harder with like no, like there was no agency for me as the player to keep up with it. Like we couldn't raid more hours. We couldn't like do anything to make the content easier. So it just literally got harder and harder and harder. And because of that, like less and less people want to be in guilds with lower progression. When the servers were fucked last night, I got kicked from time walking because it took me 2 minutes to enter. Oh wow, really? Yeah, the servers were all kinds of fucked up. Do you always call your pug teammates retard to the stream, or was it just a one-time thing? Obviously, those guys are actually retards, so it's just a one-time thing. Yeah, it felt good to have 20 people dedicated, getting better, and completing a super tough goal as a group. I mean, like, you came in at the end of it. Like, you're only seeing, like, Legion and onward. But, like, yeah, I feel like you go back to, like, Wrath and Kata. It was a very fun atmosphere. People, you know, the raid wasn't so hard that we couldn't all progress at our own pace and still kill it. And most importantly, you know, the people were people I really enjoyed playing with. But then things continued to get harder and harder, and there was less and less people that I enjoyed playing with. Oh yeah, I guess so. True enough, I wish I knew you then. Yeah, no doubt, man. Just looking back at the Cataclysm stuff, it's so nostalgic. Do you remember that one Fire Mage we had for just Carapace of N'Zoth progression? Yeah. That guy is like one of the very few people that I've ever played with over the years that I'm sure actually bought his account. That guy was like more geared than any of us, and he was like half the DPS of everybody else. And he had just like genuinely like no clue about what mage spells were at all. Are you gonna do Cataclassic? No. Really hate the if one person messes up, it's a wipe thing that has been consistent over the years. Yeah, I remember the first time that ever really occurred, and that was in it was in Legion, the maiden boss in Tomb of Sargeras. I ripped into that guy, and I'm not sorry. I was pretty mad at you and a few others who were ripping into him, but mostly just because literally, like, that was the best recruit I got that week, you know what I mean? That's how sad the state of recruiting was. That was the best guy I could find that week. I still think the Fire Mage was the one guy who actually managed to trigger me that one night on Carapace. Only ever happened once. Oh, yeah? What were you upset about? I don't remember you being upset. I remember that Fire Mage. I remember Jick saying not to flame him in his chat. Oh, really? I don't... What, when I... Was I streaming it? Is it? I don't think anybody streamed the raid back then, did they? Or maybe copped it, I guess. I started back at the end of Vanilla and raided some in TBC, but I can't touch Classic. It was a different time, and it was very different. Yeah, Classic now is not... It's like, yeah, if you had a time machine and you skipped every other thing from TBC to the modern TBC, you would be like, what the fuck is this? If it made Cop mad, it's pretty bad, yeah. Fire Mage in BFA was free damage. It was a little harder to play, but it did like 4x everyone else's damage. I mean, granted, Carapace is obviously a weird fight for, but nah, this guy was just a carry, like, straight up. He had no idea what he was doing. Are you gonna do Legion Classic? Nah, there's no need to do any of these new expansions Classic. All the content's still in the game. Chat poll, how often do you see the character transfers on sale? It's usually only for like certain times of the year. Like they had one for Black Friday, and then they usually have a spring sale. There is a point, and it's to relive it as current content. Yeah, I mean, not for me. I don't look at that as any, like, the content's still in the game. I can just go play it if I want to play it. I definitely remember Jick saying to be kind to him before I went off, so he must have streamed that day or something. Could have just been in Cop's chat. I think Cop streamed it still at that point. I'm sad I missed TBC Classic, but I heard it tanked anyways. Yeah, I mean, TBC was a far cry from what Classic was, and Classic wasn't great either. Legion Classic would be funny. People not remembering that DK tanks were really bad before 7.1.5. He literally ran over me, pull after pull, and killed me multiple pulls in a row, causing me to get instant madness and caused us to wipe. Oh, really? I tried to be nice because Metro asked, but it got too intense. Yeah. I mean, obviously, looking back, that was, yeah, one of the worst players I ever raided with, but... It was just so unfun to have to constantly recruit week after week and keep getting players like that. I used to sell WoW accounts in college. It would pay for my rent my freshman year. Yeah, that's basically how I started playing WoW, because same situation. Sean Stitt and his brothers, they would level characters and then sell them. So he gave me one of the accounts that they had, and I played it for the beginning of Wrath, and then they took it back. The guy who originally owned it took it back off me at the end of Wrath, so I had to come back to this account. What's your favorite expansion, lore and story wise? All really. I'm not really a lore guy. I don't have any expansion that I like more or less in terms of lore, just because I don't really care about it too much. Still, even with all that, we managed to find a laugh, like how we all learned that we should let Pyro make pots. Yeah. That was another special guy. I'll still never forget. We're fucking doing Sun King, and he's like, I need to go take a shower in the middle of raid. And Rick, who's like not cop level calm, but like he's pretty close. He just goes, "Is this guy fucking serious?" Like, super agitated. Oh man. Like, great, you pooped yourself. Why are you telling 20 people? Yeah. Do you have any alt tanks? Not right now, no. The new Elden Ring DLC looks so sick. Oh, does it? I honestly, like, I watched that and I'm like, I don't have any interest. Like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't really know what any of the stuff that they showed is. But honestly, like, after playing the Convergence mod, I trust, like, the mod makers to make a better game than any actual company at this point. Because, you know, it's not purely motivated by money. Reminds me, I need to shower. Will you be streaming for long? Yeah, we'll be gone for 2 more hours at least. Hot take, Dark Souls 3 is better than Elden Ring. Dark Souls 3 has almost nothing that I would say is better than Elden Ring, sadly. Dark Souls 3 Convergence? No, Elden Ring Convergence. Elden Ring is just markedly better in all ways from Dark Souls 3, sadly. And that's not necessarily that uncommon. Like, the FromSoft games seem to do this. Like, every game is just way, way, way better than the previous one. Like, it improves the quality of life, way more interesting weapons, way more interesting systems and collections and stuff. Like, each one just gets better. Boss design? Nah, I wouldn't agree, really. I have not really done a boss in Elden Ring that I thought was worse than a boss in Dark Souls 3 yet. But I don't know. I don't really look at it like that. Like, every boss is different in all the games, so, like, there's so many bosses in all the games. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you think about boss design that was better in Dark Souls 3 than Elden Ring? OG Dark Souls is my favorite still. It's a great game, but it's just, again, like, completely, it's like playing Classic compared to Dragonflight. Like, there's just so much more in Dragonflight. You'd pretty much only play Elden Ring, or you'd pretty much only ever play Dark Souls 1 over Elden Ring because of the content that's not there, you know? You can't compare them. You have to look at them in a case-by-case basis. Why can't you compare them? My experience in that game was unlike any other Souls game. Well, no doubt. It's a very unique game and the game that started everything, so. So Best Buy is trying to say the Naga is on sale from $150 to $99 when it's been $99 for years. Oh, Best Buy does that all the fucking time. So does Dick's. Dick's constantly, I constantly get emails, which is so hilarious, right? I'm gonna tell you how this is so hilarious. I get an email from Dick's Sporting Goods that says they're having a flash sale. And I'm like, bro, you guys have the worst forward-facing name and media. Like, it just, don't do that. Don't tell me that Dick's is having a flash sale. I don't need to see that. But anyway, they always tell me they have a sale, and I go to their website, and the stuff that they tell me they have a sale on is the same price that is year-round. It has literally not ever been a different price. Every time I check the golf pants and stuff, it's always the exact same price. Comparison is the thief of joy in most cases. Well, but we are comparing the games. I'm not necessarily doing it to be joyful. I'm just comparing the two games in terms of what they offer. I feel like in Bloodborne, Diablo, I keep saying Diablo. Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and Sekiro, there's something that clicked. Elden Ring felt like I brute forced my way through. Oh, really? Well, you should definitely check out the Convergence mod. It like completely changed. Like, it's basically like a new game. Like, I can't believe how different the base game is and this mod is. It's basically not the same game. Is crafting worth starting at this point? Nah, I wouldn't even bother. Expansion's almost over. By the time you get everything caught up, you probably won't get much value out of it. The good thing about crafting this expansion is that you do not need to craft to be able to make gear. You just need somebody else to craft for you, which is a huge benefit. I've got the Alchemist Stone now as well. Yeah, that's a big part of my character. Nice having all that verse on that. Wait, I thought you were talking about Dark Souls 3 Convergence. Yeah, Elden Ring has a Convergence, and I've never played the Dark Souls 3 one, but if I was going to play a mod, it would be the Ashes mod or whatever. I'm 2760 healer. I want to push 3k. Any advice? Nah, just keep going. I mean, keys are... You shouldn't have any issues with that. If you have any specific questions, I'm happy to help, but... You should have no problem getting a 3k. I think as long as the experiences are unique enough, I think they can stand alone without being usurped by the sequels. Gotcha. I'm just talking about like what they offer. Like if Dark Souls 1 had the Ashes of War system, you know what I mean? Like I'm not talking about the content or anything, but Dark Souls 1's weapons are so unbalanced and so bad compared to Dark Souls even 2, but especially compared to Dark Souls 3, it's just like impossible for me to go back. How do you disband a guild? Are you serious? Or is that a joke? Have you ever heard? Maybe you never even heard that joke. There was a guy in our guild in Wrath who would constantly ask that question, but it was about an arena team. So I just one day said /G quit, and he left the guild. Anyway, it's just /G disband. What does Convergence change? Everything. Definitely go check it out. It adds like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of new spells. That's probably like the biggest, like the most notable thing. It also adds, it has 27 classes in the game, and each one has a unique starting like experience and path, and has class-based like content like gear and armor and stuff, or weapons and armor. It's basically like, and then on top of that, he's like changed areas like insanely heavily. Like Morn Castle is like twice as big and deep as it was in the vanilla game, apparently. Convergence has been known for their enhancement of the magic system. Yeah, that's pretty much like, it does have really, really good melee stuff. I love how they handled it, making melee better after buffing the classes that do magic so much. But I honestly kind of regret doing like a melee hybrid build. I should have committed to full sorcerer. It's probably the best mod I've seen in any game. It's definitely the best like there's Pokemon fan games that are basically just like straight up better than anything Nintendo could ever develop, and they're made from the ground up. But in terms of like a ROM hacked style game, there's nothing really like I've never seen anything as deep as Convergence. It's literally the reason I got the game. I loved Insurgents. Yeah, there's so many good Pokemon fan games out there. It's nowhere near perfect, but the mods are historically very good. Yep. The good thing about the game though is like it's super moddable now. Like the tools are very well developed. Like even I changed like all the trees in the Weeping Peninsula from yellow to red, and that like it took me a little bit to learn how to do it, but it took me like less than a few minutes to do it once I figured it out. For Elden Ring, yeah. So you like if you don't like something about the Convergence mod, you can literally just change it to be however you want. That's what I've been doing. Like I've spent probably more time playing it, or more time modding it than playing it in the last 2 weeks. I've been trying to like 100% each area, and I only just like I started in the Weeping Peninsula, and I only just finished Stormveil Castle and Limgrave or whatever, and now I'm working on Kalen or whatever, the red place. I just got torn up from the first mobs and thrown at 20. They hit so hard. I feel like they all crit me. Oh yeah. Oh, that's why you want to record them, so you can always look back and see what could be different. Druid lives matter. There's another one of them. They may when they start performing. As of right now, we're getting a lot of druids just getting carried. Anyone know if my brother and I can co-op? Yes, you can. The Convergence mod does work with the seamless co-op mod, which I really wish I had somebody who actually, like I actually knew and wanted to play the game with, because it seems like fucking insane. You can now I keep forgetting the mobs. You can literally, like you never have to separate in this seamless co-op mod now. You can play the entire game together the whole way, it seems. If you beat the boss in Rail Carrier, you can respec. Oh, is that where you do it? I've not done that yet. Anyone know if... Okay, remember that, yeah. But yeah, it seems really, really, really cool. Me and Mioni, he's actually now a Final Fantasy influencer, but back then we used to play WoW together all the time. He and I tried to beat Dark Souls 2 purely co-op. I actually have it. It's still all on Ace Games TV. And it was just a janky-ass mess, like unbelievable mess. You had to constantly, like, we had to beat every boss twice, and we had to, like, change our summons fucking passwords and all this shit. It was such a fucking mess. It was a cool system, but it was definitely, yeah, if you can literally play the entire game with another person now in Elden Ring, it's like, okay. Kind of showing you that the mod makers are better at making the game than the actual people who make the game nowadays.
Run away, little girl.
Dark Souls 2 feels more like a crappy Souls-like compared to the other games in that series. Yeah, it's definitely my least favorite of the three, but it's still fine. It's certainly better than 1 in my eyes, just because it's got way more depth to it. Like I said, pretty much like every game that just kind of like WoW. I guess I feel the same way about WoW expansions. Every new release just gets better and better. Because like it's not like Dark Souls 2 removed anything from Dark Souls 1 other than the content. Like pretty much all the weapons and the reasons to use certain weapons and armor and things like that, it all still exists. It's the exact same game, just with more. You and Miani work together well, especially when making the Christmas machinimas. Oh, I just did like 10 minutes of voice acting. He did all the work. But Dark Souls 2 was my first, and even though I didn't finish it, I love it, and it got me into the series. Dark Souls 2 DLC is also the best of any game. Like, I don't know what Elden Ring's DLC is going to be, and maybe it's going to be crazy. I don't know, but I probably won't even buy it, to be honest. But yeah, it's like the Dark Souls 2 DLCs were like literally insanely well-made bosses and really, 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 really cool areas. I never valued Dark Souls 1. I do like how the map is designed in the beginning. You mean how like you can literally go anywhere in the very beginning?
3, 2, 1.
That's tragic. Dark Souls 1 literally changed me. I mean, it changed me too, obviously. I wouldn't be playing Dark Souls 2 if it wasn't for Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 3 DLC is why I value it so high. Oh, really? Well, yeah. It's really funny you say that because Siler bought me the DLC for my birthday and I never even entered it. Never got to it. The base game of Dark Souls 3 is just so good that I never even, like, I don't know. I really wish Dark Souls 3 just had, like, better settings. That's the only thing that I think Elden Ring does, like, way, 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 way better. Dark Souls 3 would be very passable with some mods if it just had better settings. That's why I'm really looking forward to Arch Thrones. This is how this all started for me. Because I heard about this Dark Souls 3, like, total conversion mod that is called Arch Thrones, and it's such like a beautiful, colorful experience. And the top comment on the video where I watched it for the first time was finally Dark Souls 3 with some color. And then the second comment underneath it was, that's just Elden Ring, lol. And then I was like, wait, I had no idea that Elden Ring was like a colorful version of, you know, I didn't realize. So if Dark Souls 3 had more diversity in the landscape and less like dreary and dingy shit, I probably would never even bought Elden Ring and just kept playing Dark Souls. Because I had started replaying Dark Souls because every time I watch Yu Yu Hakusho, I always end up wanting to play Dark Souls again because one of the characters in that anime is basically a dark pyromancer. And I love the way dark pyromancy looks in the Souls games. So I started playing it again just for that, and then the rest is history. Dark Souls 3 base game is below Elden Ring, but with DLC I would put it higher. Oh really? I've never actually played it, it's funny. It didn't, like, I watched people play it and there was like these fucking butterfly things or something like that in that one area that was just like, yeah, I'm not going in there. That's just like, that shit, that was the beginning of the end for Dark Souls for me. Like, it felt like they just kept adding more and more overpowered shit and less player power. And then I thought that was going to be a problem in Elden Ring. That's ultimately why I did not buy or check out Elden Ring at all, because I was so turned off seeing that from Dark Souls. And then I didn't realize how much Elden Ring like fixed that. Like you have summons and like the magic and the arrows and everything is like way better, and it's like it's so much easier to level your character, and you have way more agency over your character's power in Elden Ring. So it's like, this is not an issue at all. Did you ever play Bloodborne? No, I never played that because it was PlayStation only at the time. I never had a PlayStation. Bloodborne is probably the Souls game I struggle with the most. Right, because it changed the whole combat dynamic. That's what I'm saying, like that it felt like Dark Souls 3 was going more towards Bloodborne than Dark Souls 1, and that's why I stopped liking it so much. It's more about this like wildly fast-paced, like breakthrough, you know, you have to attack and break through wildly in order to beat. Like I like the whole like I like playing like a knight, you know what I mean? Like shield, maybe some, you know, roll here and there, but mostly just like go toe to toe with the enemy and just kind of outmaneuver it. And that playstyle was totally not in, like, literally not present in Bloodborne or it's Cairo. And those are games that I haven't played for that reason. Bloodborne teaches you to play the fun way. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, most people probably prefer different things, but that's just how I've always enjoyed it. I like playing like a heavy, bulky melee, you know? But like I said, in Elden Ring Convergence, it's like, I actually regret that. I want to try like a full caster now that it's so powerful. So dynamic. There's so many good casters that I don't know, like, what do you pick? Did you do raids to get gear in Season 3? No. When the bosses are good, it feels like you're having to dance to the death. Oh yeah. So I went back into GameStop and we're trying to sell, and they were trying to sell that fake platinum I returned. Oh, you actually returned it? I was like, oh, that's my fake game I returned. True scumbags. Yeah, that's. I guess that my GameStop's just probably hanging on by a thread here. The only time I dance to the death is when I can boogie down. Funny. Wow, I think everyone but you died in this poll. Yeah, I can probably say that every stream.
Beware.
Nathria was such a good raid. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that it was like the last raid I did seriously, because it's really a masterpiece. I feel like it's one of the best raids ever made. I haven't done the Dragonflight raids, but yeah. I got 6 of 6 called on that fight. Oh yeah, I remember that. What was the controversy? There's some debate about it, but I remember you and Rusty always doing that.
Beware. Beware.
My mic cut out. Oh, that's what it was. I forgot about that. That's funny. Jix used to call every one of the dances in Nathria before it would happen, and he would get like 3 or 4 right, and we were for like weeks joking like, oh man, could you imagine if he got all 6 right? Like, what are the odds, you know? And then he got 5 right, and he like went to say the 6, but his mic cut out, so we didn't hear what he said. He maintains that he called it correctly, and then organically like was very excited afterwards, so the reaction does check out. But yeah, Rusty owes him because he said it would never, he'd never get it. He's like, dude, you'll never call 6 of 6. Not mathematically feasible. Dude, I'm a college student. I know how to spell. Rusty's like one of the funniest guys ever read. I mean, I believe you, but no evidence exists since technically Rusty was right. All was still streamed too, so you can go back and find those streams, and if you just want to mute the chat during that, you'll probably have a better experience. That was like the most obnoxious I'd ever seen any chat on any YouTube live stream. People literally would come in to stream and be like, lol, it's not even possible to kill Frida last.
Master, gonna build me again.
Boltal in pieces again.
It's probably not truly random. Usually something like that does not, like, it looks random, but if you just see how it plays out, there's probably some actual theoretical pattern that should unfold. We had a 1 in 4,000 chance of guessing all 6 correctly. Yeah, that's nuts. Finally caught up to the live stream. Journed back with somebody. Was watching the throne run. Oh god. Sorry to hear that. Hey, Size, what's up, buddy? Welcome. I learned one thing: never tell Rusty he's right. Oh, definitely don't. Yeah. Dude, I really wish I had like somehow some way to show you guys what Rusty and Stit were like. The two of them together were like the funniest duo of people you may ever see on the planet. Because Stit would just straight up antagonize Rusty like argumentatively, and Rusty, as you know, is like one of the least willing to argue properly people on the planet. So they like, there was this time when Rusty was trying to debate Stit on whether or not having a speed enchant is more DPS theoretical than having a DPS. I don't know what it was in TBC or something like that, but I guess like a speed enchant was somehow competing with the DPS enchant. I don't remember whose side it was on, but it started at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm talking it went till like midnight. Like it went on for like 8 hours.
Beware.
I think Rusty's side was that speed was a DPS increase that should be considered. Because there's obviously many raid fights where you get pulled away from the boss. But Christopher, what's up, buddy? Do you think Blizzard did a good job making some older content like Cat Dungeons and Mythic Plus? No, not at all. They basically didn't really do anything. Like, there was a massive amount of issues in Throne that they just didn't really bother to address. But you can say that it's somehow possible that old Blizzard made a dungeon that's good enough for Mythic Plus, and that's all that we got. Because it kind of isn't that bad of a dungeon, even despite the issues it has. Like, it works, it's not, you know, not unplayable or something. Definitely not a fan of it, though. I wish they would not do anything prior to MOP and really prior to Legion, but
Beware.
I know it's not, but I am going to assume the picks on your back wall are your talent builds. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely not talent builds. Expecting to grind out any score this week, or just weathering the storm? We got 1 point so far. Nah, I don't expect to get any score this week.
Beware.
Throne, I think, is a good dungeon, but horrible is a Mythic Plus. Yeah, it's really bad Mythic Plus. For sure.
Beware.
But like I said, it works. But now that they nerfed Rise, it's clearly the worst dungeon in my eyes. What Rise did nerfs guessed? It got about a 1.5 to 2 minute timer nerf, effectively. Not directly. They nerfed a bunch of mobs to make that the case. But it now should theoretically play about 1.5 minutes faster. I passed 100% mastery on Death Knight yesterday. Those death strikes are meaty. Oh yeah. Battlefield boss doesn't get stacked now. There's a ton of, they made a ton of changes to the dungeon. A lot of things that make the fights easier too, but I wouldn't really say that those had any real impact on the success rate in my eyes. The big one was they nerfed all the health of the mini bosses in the first room, and they nerfed the shield strength on tier. Those are the two biggest nerfs, if you ask me. Then they like nerfed a bunch of small enemies and yeah, like some small things in other encounters. Did they ever nerf the mage boss in Everbloom? No. That fight I really like. I actually feel like, I don't know. I've been saying it's scaling on Tyrannical or forward fight. I don't know, but that is not a hard fight. The trash is way harder than the boss in my opinion. That VOD review of the 2 Rise with that warlock who kept running over the sand. That was like a 7, but yeah, it was 13 or something. But yeah, no, that was an adventure. We got some more funny keys coming for sure. Stay tuned. Hey, look who's dead. Highway to Hell. That's what happens when you invite a holy priest. Does the mage boss have a specific tank positioning strategy? Nah, I don't really think it has anything to do with that, does it? I thought that guy was about to get hit by the fire again. Wait, did the hunter also die to the fire? This is the guy who wants me to go left, by the way. Mage boss sounds like bad design. My friend said the fire salvo thing does a random number across the party. It's not great, yeah, definitely. But it's not really that big of a deal. It doesn't really do that much damage on the encounter itself. It does way more damage on the trash, it seems. You'd think avoiding fire is the basic human instinct. Yeah, the caveman's taught us how, right? Sometimes people forget that fire is indeed hot. You won't if you got Jixen in your ear. He'll remind you. I don't like the people around me catching on fire. I don't blame you, honestly. Can get annoying leaves covering the screen in the Ever boss. Bosses 2 and 3. What do you mean? I want Cathedral of Eternal Night to return. One of my favorites from Legion, even when it was too hard. Yeah, and that's the good thing about those dungeons that I've like looked at as like overly difficult in their current pools, in their previous pools. Like if they did come back, it will obviously be rebalanced, you know. And even if it did somehow didn't get rebalanced, like dungeons like that are definitely like they were hard because the dungeons around them were not very mechanically difficult. So if you got a dungeon like Cathedral or Seat of the Triumvirate, those would probably just fit in very well with the modern dungeons.
My claws will
they were only looked at as difficult because you had dungeons like DHT and Neltharian's Lair, which had very few mechanics and very easy routing.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, cop, don't aggro this slime. Me rolls over 3 slimes. What the hell? That was the old cop. That was the Orgoza Mythic Plus Mythic Tank cop. Yeah.
My claws will find your heart.
I gotta remember. I don't know why I keep doing this. Let me just CC this.
2, 1.
Okay. I've never used that tank statue ability since then. Yeah, it's funny. I had no idea that it would taunt bosses.
Impressive. You made it farther.
I almost died again to the fire.
But I will still.
Didn't see that one. I think I died to spider too. What's your favorite raid moment, cop, all those years? Do you have one that really sticks out?
I have many wares. The Tsar will awaken soon, but you will not live to see it.
You have a few. Alright, let's hear them.
Let your soul be shattered.
Beware.
Doing a good job of stacking and moving, so we'll just stick with that.
I will tear your soul apart.
Beware.
I don't know why people do this themselves though. That is such a risky place to go. 5 feet to the left of where the spiders are? I don't know.
3, 2, 1.
I think one of my most glorious runs was when I beat the Fire Mage on the Doggo in Nyalotha. Came in 3rd overall while we were down to Freedom. Oh yeah, that was the Infinite Stars, right?
Beware.
When you had switched corruptions and you had like huge dividends from switching.
3, 2, 1.
Just like at the time, there was like so much passive damage to be gained from that. It just seems silly not to go for the most passive option.
Beware. Three, two, one.
Let your soul be shattered.
Yeah, they're making this so much fucking hard. I couldn't get the other one everyone was using reliably. I leaned into stars. Oh yeah.
Your blood is mine.
Beware. Three, two.
See what a mess this fight is?
Your blood is mine.
He's dead again. Boss is dead though, doesn't matter.
Let your soul be shattered.
Can you believe that next Friday will already be in the month of March? Yeah, I can. February is a short month, and it's been a very arduous one for me, so. I think one of my most WTF moments I ever had was when we were progging Raden with our unusual strat, and that troll just wouldn't shut up in my chat. Oh god, yeah, that was... That's obviously one of the most absurd things I've seen too, but that Raden, like, Ny'alotha was an excellent raid for that. Like, so many fun, unique strategies too. Drestagath cheesing, I can't remember the names of all the bosses, but yeah, we had found out all these like really cool, unique strategies. We were tanking the fucking boss, like running around in circles on Raden. That was so cool. The soccer boss. Oh yeah, that was another unique one. It's a leap year too. Yeah. So what extra day in February, right? Twilight Dev when tanks could easily top meters. Yeah, that was fun. All right, so AD 25 in the books. I think it's -1. Maybe that's wrong. Is it -1? I don't know. Progging Lady Ashvane was choice content. Hey, Valis, yeah. What's up, buddy? The, what was the name of that weapon, that trinket? It's like overpowered as shit in that fight. Cyclotronic, yeah, Cyclotronic Blast or something like that, yeah. If everybody used, like, we had like 15 people with it, if everybody used it on the first phase of the pull, it cut like an entire mechanic out of the first phase and made the progression of the fight 10 times easier. You are right, the 29th is an imaginary day, yeah. Still have that trinket in my bank. That's awesome. Favorite tank trinket of all time? Blood Spattered Scale would be top 5 for sure, but number 1 is Riftworld Codex, 100%. And then I always bring up Riftworld Codex, and then it makes me remember the Tazavesh one, Codex of the Secret Technique. That might be number 2. Yeah, Riftworld Codex, favorite tank trinket of all time. Codex Secret of Technique, probably number 2. I don't know. Blood Spattered Scale was extremely applicable for what Blood UK needed at the start of Shadowlands, so it was always going to be a top 5, but it just kind of ended up being like a worse, like there was another trinket, the shield trinket, Anohide's Aegis, that ended up just kind of being better than Blood Spattered Scale. I did enjoy sacrificing chicks multiple times every pull. That was Tokes. That was Tokes who would die every time. Oh no, wait, yeah, no, you're right, it was chicks, Yeah, he was the tank, obviously. It's just that on the kill, Tokes died, and that ended up being the reason we killed it, because we got the extra buff. There was a thing, a battle for Azeroth, Azerite power, that whenever somebody would die, you'd get a big buff. So we like figured out like mathematically that it was better to have a tank intentionally die at the end of the encounter so we can get a massive DPS buff, and we had him die 3 times on the pull, or on the kill. I never got the scale, whole expansion. Really? All the people in Shadowlands that went berserk over tanks when they used Tazavesh Codex instead of DPS trinkets. Yeah, and then embarrassingly so, because that trinket ended up becoming like one of the best offensive trinkets in the game. I remember that. Poor Tokes died for our sins. Yeah, I could have swore he died on purpose too, or something like that. I don't remember. I don't know. That was the beginning of the end though. Classic. Killed it. Best tier I've ever played, 8.3. I know you loved it, yeah. I definitely have good memories from Ny'alotha. Shout out Grief Torch. Super funny. Oh, yeah. I think he said it was on purpose. Not sure if it really was. Yeah, I don't even remember what happened there. I just remember him dying and it being like huge. We had people purposely dying in raid fight to pad DPS majors with Grief Torch. That's kind of not that similar to what we were talking about here. I know my good one, blue green red green blue. Yeah, Battle Desire Laura Cop really struggled with the monk pattern on Jade Fire Masters was the name of the fight. And he just straight up couldn't remember it. So I don't know whose idea it was to make it into a jingle, but somebody made it into a jingle, so he would just, now he'll never forget it. 8.3 was the first time I got to max level. Started playing during the end of Legion. Oh yeah, oh, it was Morgreen's idea? That's funny. We had that on farm in season 1. Our shamans would die on purpose every pull farm and Ankh for that trinket. Jeez. Does Ankh reset now? Oh, you mean like only if it was up? He always went out of his way to make me a better Windwalker. Yeah, Morgreen. Probably like the most... It's probably like the dude that was like the most adult and patient person I've ever played with. He put up with a lot of fucking bullshit in that guild. Or how about the time I couldn't tell Gul'dan's back from his front, or Diabolical? Well, that was like you always say that, but I think that was Morgreen, right? Because he was mad because it was a tank mechanic. If you stood in front of Gul'dan, he did the tank mechanic, so we would die basically. But yeah, that was your first raid night ever, right, Gul'dan? Your first like progression raid. I remember he tore me a new one after that and made me take a whole new look at being a Windwalker. Yeah, I remember you having really big troubles with that. Started me down the road of being a serious monk. Oh, sweet. Well, that's good to hear that. I'll grab that guy. Ugh. I really don't know why I really don't want to do Black Creek. It's just not a fun dungeon to do. It's so easy. Should have definitely looked for DHT more. Practice the changes we wanted to try to make. I got serious about Death Knight out of necessity and fell in love with it, thankfully. Oh, cool. That's kind of how it went for me too, to be honest. did not play it on purpose. It was just super overpowered in WOD challenge modes. Like twice as good as whatever second best would have been at the beginning of the expansion, and I wanted to try to get all golds as fast as possible, so I made a Death Knight. I already had a Death Knight from MOP challenge modes, but... Last raid tier was my second ever and my first trying Mythic raid. Oh wow, really? That's pretty hell of an ascent there. You went from not raiding to getting in arguments about strategies on the last boss of a raid. Or second to last, I guess. I remember when you guys were carrying me through raid achievements in Legion, and I got both doggo mounts from the Argus. Oh yeah, Diabolical was so... Dude, this happened to him multiple fucking times. Like, he cared more about the raid mounts than anything else at points in the raid. And it happened with Harry. We brought Harry in, and he got the rare mount. And then it happened with you as well. And it's probably more than just those two people. But I remember him just always being like, oh, great. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, oh, you read that, yeah. I climbed fast, went from AOTC in season 1, cutting edge in season 2. That's called guild hopping, I think, but yeah, good. Alright, oh, we got invited to a 27 at all. It's probably gonna be a waste of time, but see how it goes. Any sports news today? Let's see. Raiders have Mahomes rules for Chiefs. What does that mean? Tiger's son Charlie to play Thursday in pre-qualifier. Oh, cool. Is he even old enough? 15. Pre-qualifying for what? PGA Tour's Cognizant Classic next week. What? Anyway, a waste of time with that mindset. You can do it. Yeah, it's just a tall. Everybody always complains about the route. Even in that last key, the fucking guy was complaining about the route. Is there actually lag if you play with people from other regions? Yeah, it's definitely not like perfect, but I don't really feel like it's that big of an issue. Like, it doesn't affect me at all. I don't know. Some people get really affected by it, I guess, but... Yeah, Yankees on Saturday. First spring training game is Thursday, is that right? Well, we'll probably do one more key, and then if we still want to do that normal, that'd be a good way to end for today. If not, no worries, but it's taking forever to get into start a key now. There's not anybody even in this key, so... Really want to do DHT, but that guy's just not inviting people. Wouldn't mind seeing Rise more, but Run's always a funny key to do. Definitely the dungeon we've had the most silly stuff happen in this season. Declined. Good luck to you. Rise. It's a fun dungeon. It's actually quite nice now with the changes. See you later. Oh man. All right. I remember Vexiona on our achievement run where we invited people, one of my viewers who had joined the guild and popped his Earth Ellie. Not, oh god, yeah, that was really funny too. Fucking Earth Ellie. Apparently slacking contains mature language as a WoW name. Oh, really? Yeah, it's King. You're not allowed to have King or Queen as your name for anything for some reason. What exactly people on 26 to 28 pugs waiting for? I have no idea. You'll have to ask them. I bet most players don't actually have an answer. They just hope that something's going to really stick out to them when they're listing their key. Most people listing their key are obviously hoping to get carried. Makes sense given the RP nature of some people. Yeah, waiting for their carry. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There was a guy that I used to play with in Legion who would straight up wait, like he would never do his key unless he had 4 people who would be way better than him, basically. He would wait like all day, like it'd be like hours. He'd have his key listed like 5 to 6 hours a day. He put like just seeing what's out there kind of thing. It's like, you think that like, I don't know, if I said that, I think people would immediately know that I'm just trying to get carried. Is that why I see so many people with the key posted for a long time but not actually accepting anyone? I have no idea. I don't know why people do that. That's different. That's something different altogether. This was Legion, to be fair. There's a lot more people running keys back then. So it was a lot easier. The guy would basically just like, you know, he'd get 2 or 3 people in the key and then there'd be like no good tank or something like that. So he would just not do it. Set a threshold for maybe 3.2k rating and then invite the classes you want. Yeah, I don't think anybody bothers with the threshold, but I remember getting lost a few times on that swimming boss and feeling the shame. Swimming boss? Can you even get carried at that high level? Oh, absolutely. Are you fucking serious? Have you watched the stream? There's literally people who don't even like... I'm not sure how they get to the level they're at. It's wild. Like, look at what just happened in that throne an hour ago. Those guys are literally, like, they're just ruining their own key. That guy was, like, half the DPS of the other 2 DPS, telling me to do all the wrong things in the key, and then acting like I was wrong when I, like, said, like, you did this to yourself. Like, what the fuck? That guy literally gets carried every key he does, right? That's the only way he's able to progress as a DPS. Should I log and put a post up to smack Birdman? No, I'm gonna do one more for sure. But after this, it'll be the end of it, it looks like. You know the BFA boss where we had to get underwater breathing? Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't realize you could get lost in that. I guess you find ways to get lost. That throne was a perfect example of toxic pride. They needed to be right about your route. Yeah, it's just like really dumb. Like, I don't know how you can't see, like, ah, man, I fucked up big time here. Telling me to skip a pack. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's really weird. I don't know. Especially considering, like, am I wrong? Like, is that not really common to skip a mob pack at the end of the dungeon? Why would we skip that? That is, like, such a risky... It's far riskier than skipping at the end. Especially if we're not going to bloodlust on that fight. Well, I know my route was fine. I'm just talking about whether it was common or not to skip at the end there instead. The weirdest thing about it is it's like like, do these guys think I've never tanked this dungeon before or something like that? That I'm just like looking for any advice I can get? Like, bro, what the fuck? You think I have no idea what I'm doing in here? That's how like egotistical and like self-absorbed these people are. They think like, okay, this guy who has the same score as me, he's never tanked this dungeon before, so I'm gonna tell him exactly what he needs to do. And if he doesn't do it, I'm gonna say you're an idiot, basically. It's like, what the fuck? What world are you living in? They think of you how you think of them. And I do not think the same way. Daisy, what's up, buddy? Welcome. He's just another trust me, bro. Yeah, seriously. It's pretty sad. People getting used to doing the same thing over and over again. Look at that fire mage who dropped group because you went right. Oh, that is a completely different situation, but yeah. I don't think that has anything to do with being on an autopilot, honestly. The best way to counter toxicity is to be toxic first. That's how like young kids handle it, right? It's like, what do they call that? I can't remember what they call that. There's a word for that. It's like a mating thing, like you basically like pretend to be a better person than you are.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Peacocking, but that's usually referred to for a physical thing. Or maybe that's the word I was thinking of either way.
The infinite dragonflight has already infiltrated the timeways. We must follow.
Peacocking is like you like wearing like a tight pink shirt as a male to pretend like you're ultra feminine or something like that to attract a woman. You and I are the same age. We're old and out of touch with the hip cool kids. No, we're not. I'm very much in touch with them, and they are the ones that are out of touch with reality. Not surprising, these fellas are this tall.
We will keep the reinforcements at bay while you take care of their commander.
Right. We've got your back.
Beware.
What would you think of Blizzard making a fortified tyrannical combo a fixed week but no other fixes? That doesn't even make sense. Tyrannical and fortified together is just doing a key level like 2 levels higher. They're not actually affixes if both of them exist. They only exist because they change the complexion of the difficulty. I'm 24 and the only thing I've learned playing this game with older people is that they hate being called boomers. So when they get toxic, I just call them boomers and they go insane. No, that's it. That's a comment. Most people, because most WoW players aren't boomers. Yeah. Boomers would be like 60 and onward, right? Sounds good. Boomers are my parents. I'm 34, yeah. 60 something is the baby boomer era, right? Thing is, are there really that many boomers playing? No, there aren't. It's just basically, that comment pretty much like exemplifies everything that's wrong with the younger generations. Using slang that is like just actually incorrect to describe somebody, it's like crazy. The fact that it's obviously incorrect infuriates them. Well, why do you intentionally try to antagonize people? Do you think that's a good idea? When new dungeons come out, do you just YOLO them or do you do your research? No, I just pretty much YOLO them, yeah. There's not really like, new dungeons don't really exist. But pretty much after like 20 years of playing WoW, I've seen like every combination of mechanics I'll really ever have, so. There's not much to learn outside of just seeing what it actually looks like when you do it. How does the cheat trinket work with Purgatory? Usually it procs first, no matter what. Sometimes the stupidity behind the comment is what makes people nuts. Yeah, pretty much. So I was saying it's kind of an ironic statement. Well, you are basically exemplifying everything that sucks about this game right now with that comment, so maybe don't say that out loud. That guy died? What the fuck? Oh, we went into like way deep into the sand. Wow. I turn out chat completely in solo shuffle, and considering I'm doing the same in Mythic Plus. Yeah, it's hard to do though. You might miss some. I don't run the highest keys ever, but I don't run into too much toxicity, thankfully. Yeah, there's not really that much toxicity in lower levels. People just don't really talk at all at lower levels, it feels like. That was the #1 thing I noticed when I was doing the lower keys on the Evoker, was it's just like very little actual talking going on in those keys. Turning off chat is the best possible thing you can possibly do with pugs. I don't know if I would agree with that. As you see, there's a lot of time people are talking at me, and me not answering them gets them really upset, so. Someone who says they troll people and try to make them angry just gives me the vibe that they do it completely innocent people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is not the comment you want to make. Honestly, I prefer no one saying anything. Me too, absolutely. But you can't force them to do it by turning it off. You need to at least see what they're saying, because sometimes it might be crucial to the success of the key. Like, for example, they might say, I don't have my pot up when you're about to do an invis pot, right? How are you going to have chat after that?
They have often tried to corrupt the true timeline, but to invade the bronze temple to do
People that turn chat off just annoy. It's always the lust classes too. There are so many times when I'm running a key and someone apparently said something in chat like 4 or 5 pulls ago and I didn't even see it. It happens to me constantly because of, you know, I'm not constantly not looking at the screen. So that's the only reason I know that if I actually straight up had chat turned off, it would be way bad for me at times. Just constantly people like, look at those guys who were making demands of me, right? Like, those guys would have been fucking having a conniption if I didn't do what they said. What IO are you now? Well, we gained a solid 1 point this week, so we are now 3351. I find it funny when I'm tanking and DPS is unhappy with the route and asking me questions and then asks if I speak English. Like, then I ask if they want me to stop tanking to discuss the route. Right, that's, I mean, that's annoying as shit, obviously, but...
3, 2, 1.
What the fuck is even going on right now? Honestly, when people try to tell me how to route, I say nothing. I mean, me too, but... I don't know. My point isn't that you should talk to them. My point is that you need to pick up on the social cues of what's happening at times. And so if you're not even aware that they're typing in the first place, it can be a breeding ground for failure. At least if you see them say something and you want to ignore it, that's fine, but you need to know they say it at times. No way this key is completed? I don't know. I limit my engagement in chat. Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to do it for sure. That's a survival hunter? Oh no, he's just standing right next to the boss for some reason. PvP is far more toxic than PvP. PvE? Yeah, no doubt. In my experience, that's the case as well. So the funniest fail on a 27 fall. DPS takes damage from sands at the very start before the door opens. Sand damage triggers corrupting rage file dot. Dot breaks invis. They pull everything. Ha! That's funny. I haven't seen that myself, but I'm sure that happens more than 0 times. Why is the hunter dotting? He's actually dotting. 4 dots. Who knows? Probably because he's died like 8 times in the last 5 minutes. A buddy of mine said that before the dungeon even starts, they automatically put the healer on ignore. What the fuck? That's gonna fill the ignore list up fast. This guy just straight up not dispelling me. I guess he's dispelling the other person with it. Does 2 people get that, right? I've almost died twice now out of combat. 4 dots is manageable. It's the penta dot where you need to worry. Yeah, I agree actually. 4 dots could be a typo. A 5 dotter is not a typo. I can't even blame the guy. Healers have been something this whole expansion. You could definitely blame him. Should you? That's a debate, but you definitely can. Just getting farmed by this trash though. What the? Healers have a victim complex this expansion? Yeah, you're right about that. That dot goes one on tank and one on another, so you have to dispel the other person and heal the tank. Okay. Doesn't it make it so whatever damage we take, we share? Like, surely I'm going to take more damage than whoever else had it. Or is that not how it works?
2, 1.
The hunter is close to leaving, yeah. You're right. You can delete the expansion from your sentence. I get why you'd say that, but nah, legit, it's been really bad this expansion. If you didn't follow the discussions coming out of Season 4, basically Season 4 of Shadowlands was like fucking absurdly easy to heal. Like, it literally couldn't get easier because of how much stacking stats you had. It's basically like the only way it can get easier is if the affix like healed for you. And then Season 1 of Dragonflight was like ultra difficult in terms of healing comparatively. Especially because of how the seasonal affix worked for Season 1. And on top of that, Blizzard made a bunch of like theoretical healing changes to try to preserve the difficulty of the healing experience and not allow it to get like it did in Season 4 of Shadowlands. So pretty much ever since then, healers have been complaining about their job being too hard. When in reality, like 90% of the people complaining are just people doing low-ass keys with bad-ass, like terrible players who are just standing in every mechanic. Imperious, how have keys been so far? Same as always, yeah. After 4 weeks of killing on Raid Finder, Norm, and Hero, I finally got the Legendary. Yeah, well, they just buffed it too, so grants like the drop rate. The only annoying thing that healers say is they don't want to heal tanks at all. Oh, really? I've never, I guess, that's a blood DK. I've never heard that, but they all miss Shadowlands. Yeah, when they could straight up, like, I don't know, I have an amazing example. I think it was from the highest junkyard we had done, so if you want to go look for it, you can. But Holy Priest, like, ultra flavor of the month, same bullshit as now with no value, like, just terrible healer in a pug. Everybody on the fucking planet's playing Holy Priest. We do the last boss of Junkyard. This dungeon is a joke. It's the easiest dungeon in the game. There's only one difficult thing to heal in the entire dungeon. And we get to the last boss, and this guy's just like 3 people die every time the mechanic happens. He's just like totally unable to heal the mechanic. And it's like, I mean, it's sad. It's like, bro, that's the only thing you had to do that was difficult in the whole key, and you couldn't even do it once. That's what Shadowlands Season 4 healing looked like. These people are basically just supports. Like, they're just Augvokers. They're not there to actually heal. They're just coming to PI people and give fairies to mages and shit. And then when actual healing is needed, they're like, well, who's doing that? That's not me. Is this Hunter in Season 2 gear or something? I don't know, but he's 3K. This is why I joined this group, because they're all 3. The highest guy is 3.1K. Half of them didn't DPS either. Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, straight up just be AFK for whole swaths of the dungeon. I personally only care about at most getting all the portals. The struggle of pugging higher keys seems like that's really frustrating. Oh, well, yeah, if you don't enjoy it, no worries. We need AI to save Mythic Plus. I wouldn't mind it. I've noticed a trend where healers not wanting to heal, but queuing as a healer. I don't know what they want to do, because sometimes we get like that Resto Druid is like, the guy's on every pack, he's barely healing anybody, and he's not doing any DPS. It's like, what is he here for? What? Hello? Are you doing something? Like, it's really weird. I am at work, and every time I look back, he's still dead. That guy died like 6 times. He has 8 deaths. He walked into that split with only 1 death. I wish portals were more useful. Unless sure you're not running keys in the next 8 hours, you can't use the portal for convenience. It resets every time you finish a dungeon, you know that, right? Wasn't there a video you posted where a key started and someone queued as a healer but then switched to DPS last second and they started the key with 4 DPS? No, I don't think so.
I have tracked the infinites to a place, a moment where
It sounds like it would be really funny though. We had something somewhat similar to it where the guy thought he invited a tank, but the guy was never a tank. He just was confused when he invited him. Holy Priest DPS is really good if they don't have to actively heal. I've heard Holy Priest is actually like a better damage dealer than this now, yeah. Don't fall to your death here. People tried so hard in Season 1 to get them to revert the healing changes, but I'm glad they stuck with it. Yeah, it's a better experience overall. What are these guys doing? Okay. Probably want to tell them to release. They don't know. Like what? still like the time Size thought he had switched specs to blood and had to leave the dungeon to switch specs and stop to fix his bar. And we still timed it. Oh yeah? No, you can't tell when it's open if you're dead. Oh, okay. Death count video on this hunter would be comedy. He's up to 9, but one of them was just to the ad not getting skipped properly. I even did a countdown and they still didn't do it right, so I don't know.
Beware.
Be careful. We've gone back before the aspects were even the aspects. We have to find the
Had a lock, not sure why he didn't just gate.
Beware.
Well, because if you watch the video from Monday, it's definitely a risky proposition sometimes. Maybe he needed a portal to the abyss to do it right. Yeah, could be. I just set my details to filter out the chunk damage, and it's funny watching people do less than 100k on these pulls. The chunk damage, what does that mean? Gravity wins sometimes. Oh yes, it does. The bladed chunks. Oh, I see. I didn't realize that that's what they were called. I thought that was like a colloquialism you were saying there. Removing the pad from your details is hilarious. Yeah, I don't really like. There's no such thing as pad in Mythic Plus. Everything has to die.
Beware.
There was a mob that literally killed itself, and you never had to touch it. Then yeah, I could see filtering that out. But if everybody didn't do any damage to those mobs, we would just wipe.
Beware. Beware.
I just realized this guy's named Derp Magoo. Imagine if they bolstered. If it was BFA, they would have. Last boss in Throne is pure pad used to inflate meters for the benefit since you cannot die. Oh yeah. I just meant like AoE shit like that, but yeah.
Beware.
Okay. Rare to see somebody do this phase wrong, but I guess these guys are going for a run where we do everything possible wrong. Something like these chunks don't actually matter. They're never going to be a point where the chunks outlive the dragon. It's better to passively cleave them. Okay, you're not wrong about that, but I'm just saying, like, not knowing if people did good damage on them isn't, that's not a good thing. Like, you still have to kill them. Obviously, if somebody is straight up, like, completely handcuffing their ability to do damage to the correct target, then yeah, they're doing it wrong, but it's not like it doesn't matter at all if people kill them. You went to the hunter with that, yeah, did you see that? And then this warlock died to the fucking swirls on the ground in between the phases. There's definitely prio targets on the last boss of Throne. Yep. How do people not know mechanics in 25? Welcome to Season 3. Can I take your order? You want pizza? Oh, I like pizza. steadily grown addicted to pizza. Maybe that's why I've not been very healthy in the winter. I thought the corrosion should be given to the tank. Yes, correct. The Holy Pally almost murdered the ret there by passing the ball to him. Yeah, that guy doesn't. Straight up may not know that mechanic. Weird to see it, but he is 31-10 and best key of the 24, so.
Sinks into your bones. My flame returns. Sinks into your bones. The flame consumes.
Yeah, okay, we're just gonna sweep. Somehow it didn't last long enough to wipe us. This might be the worst group in a lot. This is a really bad group, wow.
Seeps into your skin. Sinks into your bones.
Okay, see you later. That was a fun one. The charm breaks the boss fight. Yep. If I get mind controlled, it's over. We had somehow not been mind controlled once before, but I don't really know what the trick was. I think I needed to Lichborn when it happens, and it will stop it. I don't really know what the trick is. What did I miss? It's just like a hilarious like comedy of errors. Every possible mechanic you can do wrong, people are doing wrong. The Holy Pally standing right next to me had the orb, and he went and passed it to the hunter instead of me. Oh well. Alright, do you still want to do the raid or whatever? Okay. Lock, Paladin, Hunter. Can DKs parry spells? No, I don't think so. Well, I know they can't parry spells. I don't think that's a spell that can be parried. That Paladin was doing 0 damage on that key as well? Yeah. He left because he died. I mean, he died like 10 times. That dude died so many fucking times. He was tilted from the get. In fact, I'd love to hear what he has to say about that key. That hunter did not seem good at all. No, not really. Oh well, I guess we're not doing normal. Let's see if maybe there's a group out there or something, but 3K I own at 25, yeah. The whole group was like that. Guess we'll just sign up. Let's see, maybe some will like kick people or something. There's just not really any groups listed. Why is it all heroic? I guess they were relying on you to carry. Yep, pretty much. I guess we can sign up to that, but I don't even know what that means. Nope, seeds. Did our normal lockout dude leave? Yeah, it looks like he rage quit because we were calling him a fucking idiot for trolling people by using the word boomer. You left the Discord as well. What's been your best Mythic Plus season in terms of score? I have no idea. Obviously, like, there have been seasons with more than 8 dungeons, so you'd have a lot higher score, you know?
I have many lucky doos. You like?
All the seasons are cataloged since BFA Season 4, so if you want to look back, you can. I don't know if you'd be able to see my score. I guess you can just look at Radar.io. That's probably better. Don't really want to do Heroic, though. So I guess that's it then. I guess next week we'll probably get it done. They did buff it. I was hoping to maybe get it this week, but just no group. I need tanks. If you're going to do the Axe Quest, hoard your old gear. You need like 15 to 20 epics to destroy for the chain. Oh, really? Well, I do have a good amount of stuff just sitting in my bags, but does it have to be Season 3 gear? Because this is all Season 2 gear still. I don't know why I even still have most of these. Sport pods. What I need to do is buy more of these. You can restore stuff? Oh, okay. You can also buy things from the Dream Orders vendors. You had the crabs. That's why I saved them. You're on Dalaran now, yeah.
Our flight has much to offer.
She sells gauntlets. Vendor in the Dream if you have the rep. I definitely don't have the rep. Surprised how few normals there are. I mean, I guess we could sign up to this, even though I really don't want to do that boss. But it's not like we've not done it already. Did my first 24 and played like trash. Let's go. Have you given it a go at a 28 yet? No, I can't even get invited to 26s and 7s. Would it help if I joined a group? No. Like I said, they just don't need tanks, so. That's why this is so difficult to do this, because there's no groups that need tanks, and I'm not willing to do a full clear or anything. And then nobody ever fucking kicks you. So I sit here for 30 minutes, basically, and never even get kicked from a single group, and nobody ever invites me. It's not like Mythic Plus, where people fill up rapidly, like... The key never starts, you know what I mean? Like in Raid, the group doesn't go away when it's full. So they're probably, a lot of those people are probably already fighting the boss. I'm signing up to a group that's already fighting the boss, you know? The few times I've been invited to normal was usually because they kick somebody or somebody switches. But heroic not gonna work that way, I'm sure. I wish I could help in some way. I mean, unless you have a lockout. There's no way to help. That's why it's hard. Best way to help is just have a lockout. Pugging is really hard, but like I think the good thing is that when you do climb your way, you know that you did that, no one else. It's all your success. Sadly, I do not think that's true at all. I really couldn't disagree with that more, frankly, but I like the sentiment behind it. No idea how the lockout works. You have to have like cleared the previous boss and not Fyrak. You've killed Smolderon, but not Tindril, is that what you're saying? Nah, either way, I'm not trying to put a group together myself, so. I doubt you are either. Next week, for sure, we'll get it on LFR, I hope. But yeah, that's it. So I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have what do you disagree with about that. The whole thing, really. You think in a pug sitting that you did it all yourself? Really? We literally see like dozens and dozens of players a week clearly have no idea, like just terrible perspectives, terrible mechanics, like they clearly don't know what they're talking about, but they constantly talk about stuff, and presumably they're pugging the whole way. So I don't think that's true. Would you say that would be the case if you're a pug tank, or even then would you say no? No, absolutely not. You never, I mean, that's, you know, pugging means you have a group. Like, you can't do it all your own. The players that you're with have to be part of the equation, and that's why pugging is so hard. If it was purely solo, then yeah, it would be great. If I could literally play alone, then it would be so much easier to progress, because I wouldn't have to worry about like every mistake. If it was literally just me, every mistake that's made is mine. That's it. So I don't have to worry about like, oh, is this guy right? He's telling me to fucking skip a pack and pull it with the boss. Should I do this? You know what I mean? Like, that would never come into play. If I did that and wiped to it, I'd be like, oh, well, that was my fault. You know what I mean? You'd know exactly what you need to fix. You know exactly how you fix it, and you know exactly how you need to progress. But when you're pugging, it's like you're constantly worrying about, you know, people are constantly backseating. People are constantly talking about shit. Like, people are sucking. People are carrying. Like, sometimes you have guys who are like tripling the DPS of another player. Like, there's so many variables. It's impossible to, you know, you're certainly not the only one. Like, you know, what you said was, if you do climb your way up, you know that you did that. Like, nah, it really couldn't be more the opposite, honestly. I was just thinking more like the practice aspect and learning from each key, you know? But it makes sense that there are some bad players in keys way higher. Yeah, it's just like impossible to practice. That's like my point, really. There's just no way to practice in this game because the game's player base, they're so backwards. Like, they just want everything handed to them and they don't want to actually work for anything. So as soon as any like failure occurs, they just quit. So like, instead of learning from that failure, they just give up on it, you know? And then me as the tank who's trying to figure things out that might go wrong and how to strategize around them, I never get to see it. I never get to see any like completion of, you know, the progression loop. You see the beginning of it and maybe half of it at best sometimes, and that's it. If you ever wipe more than twice on a key, you're done. Like, nobody's ever staying for that, even people who are patient nowadays, so. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna probably, well, I hope so. I don't know. Tomorrow is a little bit in flux right now, so don't be surprised if there's no stream tomorrow, but I should be able to go, so we'll see. We'll be starting earlier again anyway, even if that happens. But thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next one.